Nobody's tuning in. Well, it's the holidays. Got my hair. Yeah, we're alive. This is streaming. The audio's going. Welcome, everyone. Oh, hello, Frank. We're going to start our radio show in just less than a minute, really. Hello, Joseph. See, this is what happens with a call.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We lose the name. Oh, my God. Hello. So, see, welcome, everybody. So as soon as Abe Pagoda finishes singing and dancing, we'll start our radio show. Oh, wow, yeah, that's what happens. I see that call. Abe Pagoda!
Maybe we have more internet because a lot of people aren't using it.
Good morning. There goes the neighborhood. And there was much rejoicing.
Didn't your meds kick in yet?
Yeah, David Lefkowitz here. He's a Long Island arts guy. He's got his own radio show. I want you all to really enjoy a wonderful program done by a fine artist.
A glorious thing of unparalleled beauty.
Dave's gone by. Dave is one of my very favorite broadcasters, so keep on listening to Mr. Dave.
Oh, well, yeah, when we talk about the holidays, I got that on that list. Yeah.
Tropical hot dog night. Two flamingos in a fruit fight. Every couple of days. Whirling around at night. I'm playing this music. So the young girls will come out to meet the monster tonight. Tropical hot dog night.
Well, there goes the neighborhood. Good morning, everybody, and happy snowy, cold December 23rd to you. Happy Festivus Day. It is apparently actual Festivus Day. Welcome to the folks who, of course, are listening at uncradio.org to this radio program, but we are, of course, also now a Facebook program. So welcome to Gaurav, and welcome to Janine, who says, "Hi, David, greetings from Vegas." Ooh. Well, hello. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Wish I were there. Well, yeah. Not being shot at, but at least having warm weather.
Vegas must be warm.
Yeah, probably be 70 degrees in Vegas right now. And making it rain.
You should play Viva Las Vegas Play Viva Las Vegas.
If I have it, well, I can find it on YouTube maybe.
I'll go find
it. Or we can just sing it. Viva Las Vegas. We can make the potato do it. Get him on camera. There we go. So welcome, everybody, and welcome, Aaron, and welcome, Anthony, and welcome to all the folks who are listening 2 days before the Christmas holiday, which I do not celebrate, but a lot of you folks do. So happy holidays to you. Oh, and then Janine says, "I love Festivus." We don't have... what?
We don't have a Festivus, Paul, but we have Tia Kaka or whatever.
Yeah. What is his name? This is really exciting that a friend of ours, Friendy, who have been on this program, alerted us yesterday of a tradition that is in the Catalan region of Spain.
Yeah.
Where it's sort of like a Christmas version of the piñata.
Or a Yule log.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a log for sure. This is apparently a true thing. We checked this out. Slate.com did the story on this, but apparently this is real.
There's a Pinterest site, so you know it's real.
Oh, well, yeah. So here's the deal. It's a character or a thing called the Tío de Nadal, which it translates in Catalanese Spanish into Christmas log. Or sometimes they just call it log.
No,
they call it Tío.
But they also call them caja or something like poop.
Caga. Well,
yeah, caga,
yes.
like Tia Caga or something as the nickname.
So they take a log, and again, this is absolutely real. They take a wooden log, hollow log, and they paint the front of it.
They put a face.
They put a face on it with eyes, as a face would have, and other things in it. But then apparently it's about 30 centimeters long. There's actually real, it's almost like building Noah's Ark with this thing.
But then I think he poops candy for the children.
Well, yeah, here's what they do. They put legs on it.
Right? Yeah.
So it stands up. It's a standing kind of animalistic log with a smiling broad face on it. And actually the legs and the arms are recent additions to it that they've added.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's very fancy, yeah.
And then they're covered up with a blanket, so overnight, magically, it's full of candy.
Wow.
And I kid you not. And
we gotta go. I know where our next vacation will be. Next holiday
Catalan,
season,
Spain.
Catalan, Spain.
Oh my God. So children, here's the deal. And it teaches responsibility because in the weeks leading up to Christmas, and again, this is absolutely true.
Yeah.
The children have to take care of the log.
What do you do?
They keep it warm. They feed it, kind of like their first pet.
What do you feed it? A log?
I don't. What you feed a Buddha when you have a Buddha in your house? I know you put an apple in front of it, or
fruit.
Fruit Loops or something. So the can and on Christmas
they put them in the wood chipper. Children, it's your friend.
Magically, in the morning, they wake up and they open the thing up and it's got candy spilling out of it.
That's amazing.
And it's essentially defecating candy. That is the idea.
I like that.
Yeah. It defecates
it's like
presents.
You, David. It's just like you.
That ain't candy that comes out of me. Ain't nothing like it's fudge, perhaps, but but now the weird thing is, in the old days, they would put the log in the fireplace in order for it to defecate. I don't know how this.
No, but they probably didn't put the fireplace on. They probably just that's where he went. Like Santa comes down the chimney, so maybe the log goes in the chimney to make his candy.
Right.
That's like his private place. Or you could have a dead bird in there or something.
Yeah, but if the candy comes out of the log in the fireplace, then it's all covered with soot.
No, but I'm sure they clean the fireplace first. You probably put a little Teokaka blanket,
Oh my God. And so nowadays,
and
this is why I mentioned the piñata, to make the Teo log defecate, they hit it with wooden sticks.
God.
So this teaches responsibility.
It becomes so barbaric. It's like you care for something for weeks and then you beat it with a stick.
And the beautiful part, there's music involved because when they're beating this thing, they sing the various songs of Teo de Nadal.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Again, I kid you not. Oh, and welcome again to a couple of other people. Janine said something that I can't read. Cataluni is amazing. I guess she's been there to Catalan, Spain. And by the way, Chauncey. Hello, Chauncey, again. He keeps signing in, but you don't respond to my messages of trying to get you on the radio program.
Because maybe he is celebrating the Teokaka Christmas.
He probably is, a special log. So, Chauncey, posted a video yesterday. I saw it on your Facebook. You're watching now. Please contact me.
You see, by browbeating people, you don't inspire them.
Well, I don't browbeat. I beat with sticks like the Catalonians. Catalonians? Camerans?
I would say Catalan. I don't know.
The catalogs, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a log for the Catalans. It's a catalog.
Give us some songs they sing while they're beating the log.
The song that the children sing when they are beating the Teo de Nadal, I'm not kidding, is these are the lyrics. These are taken from Wikipedia. Forgive the language if you have children watching, but it's shit log. I kid you not. Shit nougats. Hazelnuts and matto cheese.
Oh, I would love hazelnuts.
You don't like hazelnuts? How do you like hazelnuts?
In Italy, we had them, and the ice cream with chocolate was good.
Although hazelnut coffee, I find gross.
Okay, keep going.
Anyway, so we sing it with shit log, shit nougats, hazelnut and matto cheese. If you don't shit well, I'll hit you with a stick. These are the actual lyrics of the song. I'm not making this up. But Mary, hello, Mary. Mary, our old trainer. Mary.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah, hello.
Just mention a TRX first. She'll be happy.
TRX, Mary. She was a brutal at the gym.
She was not brutal. She was fair.
She was fair, but she worked me over pretty good.
She loved the TRX. That was her friend.
You love that TRX.
Ask her if she's a doctor yet, because we need some medical attention.
Oh, hello, Anna, and hello, Ivan, and hello, Chauncey, and all those folks. So,
continue. So you say you're saying I'll beat you with a stick if you don't.
If you don't shit well, I'll hit you with a stick. The lyrics of Teo de Nadal.
That's beautiful.
And then the last verse, of course, is a reiteration. It's a recapitulation.
Yes.
As Peter Shickley would say, shit log.
Is it a verb or is it an adjective?
Oh, it's a verb. It's like it's telling the log.
To poop?
we want your candy.
So you're beating them. I get
Yeah,
it.
they're not calling it a shit log.
Okay,
It's like,
I get it.
shit
Yeah,
log,
they're
we want your
telling you
candy.
to do it. I get it.
This is the way the
Maybe we
Spanish
could
people
make
celebrate
one a
Christmas.
pinata next year and do that.
Well, what we did this week, because we're going to friends for the Christmas holiday that Joyce and I do not celebrate, but and our friends don't celebrate it either, but we created
Watch his tushies hanging out.
our very own Tio de Nadal that we filled with objects and candies. There he is. Isn't he? I'll put this obviously on radio. You can't see this, but here he is on Facebook. Did we name him?
Wait. And as you do it to him, I'll do this. Look.
Make him poop things. Oh, there's candy. And hello, Bondi. Oh, so we're dropping 3 Musketeers and M&Ms. And what else? Oh, we put a large black
Eggplant.
fake eggplant in there. How do I get that? Oh, there it is. So there it is. So when it comes out, that's the first thing that's going to come out, which I think is quite beautiful.
It's kind of a stopper, yeah.
Yeah. So it is Happy Tio de Nadal Day almost to you. Happy Festivus to everybody. This could also function sort of as a Festivus poll.
Yeah.
Do you not think? No?
Not the pink hat and face. You're putting
Plus he's Spanish, not Polish. So yeah, here we go. Everything's just putting down carefully because we don't have his other
I
side.
think you may have to reglue his eyes. They're a little loose.
Oh no, his eyes are
No,
coming
you should have
loose.
done this when you did Tina Doll.
And then this instead of having the shit log. Oh, Fred, who sent us the information. You saw he saw him. So I'll show it one more time. There's our Tio. So shit log, please give us your candy. Ooh, there it is. Oh man. Oh, it's so good to see you, by the way, Fred, watching on Facebook because he usually listens on the regular radio.
He did it so he could see the log. That was his big,
Well, he didn't know that I was going to talk about it. So
I'm
thank
sure
you, Fred.
did. Why do you think Fred gave it to you so you'd have this fodder for your show?
And thank you, and welcome Andrew, and welcome all the folks who've been tuning in. And sometimes the scroll goes so fast that I can't mention everybody who has tuned in. But it's great to see you all, and I'm glad that you're all seeing me here on this Dave's Gone By radio program of the air on this Saturday morning, December 23rd, 2017. We are live here in the neighborhood. It's our 633rd episode. We have our noisemakers too. We've got our potato. What else do we need? We've got our Tio de Nadal. I've got my ears. Do you want to bring up the snake? We do have the Happy Holiday snake. No? He never comes to the station. Oh, this is going to be a mess. Okay, here we go. All right, and we have our special snake that Joyce never wants me to bring into restaurants and things.
I think he probably has bed bugs. That's my thought. Open his mouth.
He's been in a car trunk for 3 years. He's not going to have bed bugs. Show the mouth.
Open the mouth. Open it.
It opens?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, hold on.
See?
Wow, that's excellent.
That's why you look at the teeth, yeah.
Yeah, I can turn it that way. So it's a very cute little holiday snake here on Dave's Gone By to celebrate Festivus. He can kind of be a Festivus pole if you think about that. See, there he goes. God, it's almost like backwards when you're going into the camera. Sorry about. And hello, Bruce the satirist, and Andrew, who's rocking those mortgages and stuff. Welcome everybody to the Dave's Gone By radio program. What else? We're here every Saturday from 9 until noon Mountain Time, 11 until 2 Eastern Time, mixing comedy and talk and culture and humor and
what about our
stupidity.
friend from the UK? I think we were 4 o'clock his time.
He
said 4 o'clock.
Actually, I swear to God, this guy, I can't mention his last name,
Mr.
but Bob,
yeah.
he messaged yesterday to say he probably won't be able to listen live, but he'll listen in the archives. We have a fan base.
Take off your poop hat.
All right, I'm taking off my poop hat. Can Potato wear the poop hat?
What's his name? He has a name.
Potato?
Yeah, there's a name.
Oh, there's a name. I think he's Jacques. No, he's. We give our potatoes names. Jenny. Oh, it's a she.
Whoa.
Sorry about that, Potato. Didn't realize there was an androgynous component there to our potatoes. So how you doing, babe? Happy Festivus to you.
I am so tired.
Why are you so tired? It wasn't that crazy a week. You had to deal with, getting a grant thing out. Oh, no, an article out. Not a grant, an article out.
Grant. We have a job search. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on that requires a lot of detailed concentration on my brain. Brain.
Your brain hurts.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's typically sort of normal stuff. I think it was otherwise a fairly quiet week.
Yeah.
Not in the news and stuff, but in regular life here in Greeley. We've done our grading. The semester's over.
Home, and then UNC's closed all next week. So are you going to do Saturday?
Well, here's the deal. We have to talk about.
Is that New Year's?
We haven't quite made a decision yet that New Year's Eve is going to be December 31st, which I believe is Sunday. I would have to check that. So we may skip, we're probably going to skip our regular Saturday show next Saturday and possibly do our mostly annual now New Year's Eve radio program of the air. And welcome Howard and welcome Bruce. Yeah.
So it looks like Sunday night is the 31st, New Year's Eve.
Right.
Okay.
So instead of doing our Saturday morning next week, do you want to do our usual?
No, we should. We like to do that.
Yeah. And actually, I got an email from Mary, our Chicago critic friend, who joins us.
Oh, she always joins
Yeah.
us. Is she available?
Not only that, she's going to be at a party, and she knows some theater people who have long histories of theater in New York and Chicago, and she wants to get them on the air and talk with them and have them be guests if we're doing the thing. Yeah,
I think we should tell Mary if she wants to. Yeah.
Well, I haven't fully decided. We haven't fully decided because you're part of this. Whether we are going to do our annual New Year's program. So I do you want to say yes now, no now?
Oh, I'm up.
So
All
right. So this is what's going to happen. We're not going to do our regular Saturday morning Dave's Gone By next Saturday. Instead, we will be on live Sunday evening. Yeah, and we generally go on about 10 o'clock.
I think this will require a lot of. We can go to the dollar store and get some
noisemakers.
We could get some noise. Let's go to the dollar store.
Yeah.
You know the nice one when we come off the 35th, that big one?
Is there such a thing as a nice dollar store?
Yeah, the one on 35th.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how. The problem is we've got this
no, we can
soundproofing.
Hang it there.
We have to hang it off the wires
or hang
the
it from
cables.
the wall to the thing. And we could just get like hats and stuff.
Oh, hats! Yeah.
You can get like.
We're gonna turn it into a party.
Yeah, I think that there's one on 30. You know the one when we come back from Loveland, and there's like the Walgreens on one side, and then there's the big dollar store. That's a good one.
There's also a party store near that other Egg and I, or so more like a paper goods store near the Egg and I on 35th. And the sushi.
That'll be more expensive. Dollar store, because we'll probably break them.
Because this is the kind of program that we do. We're not spending a dime. We're going to be cheap as dirt.
Yeah.
But so we're going to do it.
We usually bring nice food and we can't bring alcohol because it's cool.
Well, sometimes we have guests who physically join us in the studio, which would be great.
We usually have
don't
friendly.
always.
Sometimes friendly.
Yeah, exactly. So you're more than invited. Well, we know Fred's watching. So if you want to spend your Sunday night sitting in a radio studio with Joyce and me on camera, which would be interesting. Partially on camera. We'll do it. But we're doing it next Sunday from...
We could dress as yours and Babushka.
Oh, so we have to start at 9. That's the deal. We start at 9
We have
PM
to start so that we hit midnight in
New York.
In the East Coast.
So I can talk to my folks and wish them a happy. And then around 10 o'clock, we talk to Mary and the Chicago people.
Correct, because it's hitting their time,
Right. And then 11 o'clock.
Usually it's been our time,
show. Well, then 11, we play like a music and goof around. And then midnight is midnight. We do my ball drops because it is so heavy on the left side. It hurts. And then by 12:15, we're out. We're done. We're good. So we'll do it. Yay,
we
please
can
join
have a
us.
party platter. Let's see, maybe we can save up and get some veggies and stuff.
Well, if it's more than us. You know, if we're going to, or the two of us going to get a party platter, we could do it.
We could get something nice for ourselves.
Okay, yeah. Think about it. Well, let's totally do it.
We've been doing it since you're wearing a KGB.
I never worked for KGB.
WKGB, right?
GBB.
I was watching.
Joyce thinks I am from KGB.
I was watching that spy show yesterday, the Agatha Christie, all about hunting the Russian spies. So.
And Bruce, my old friend, my old co-worker, Bruce at another magazine I used to work for.
Can we call him the Bruce is Loose?
The Bruce is Loose. Brucey Goosey would love to join you, but I get SAG after a minimum. Oh well, there you go.
Wow, we can't tell him we can't afford SAG out here. In the West, ain't nobody unionized.
The only sagging things are my own boobs.
Oh, they don't have any unions out here. They're anti-union.
In
the West, it's not really. The East, we were unioned up. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Bruce. We can't afford you, but you're welcome to poke your head through the window and watch. So there you go. He can't be physically in the room, or we can't give him a line. We can't give him an under 5.
He can be a stalker on the Facebook.
There we go. Yeah, you can stalk us on Facebook. Just like, oh my God, all these people are suddenly joining. Lana and I'm. Oh darn, Fred just wrote something, but it scrolled too fast.
Fred,
Now Bruce
what-
is giving me a smiley face. Hello, Bruce.
Tell Fred, write again, Fred, write
Yeah.
again.
No, I don't know how to scroll up on this thing, and if I do, I don't want to kill the camera.
No, you probably.
But anyway, let me tell folks what's going to be on.
Like it's a scroll. How do you scroll up on these newfangled computers?
Yeah, I'm used to dealing with Torah scrolls. You know, so. But let me tell folks what's going to be on this episode, because we keep talking about our New Year's show, and here people are tuning in for 3 hours today. They want to know what we're doing today. So it is our 633rd episode of Dave's Gone By. We're calling it Yule Tide, Tied, because it's our pre-holiday show. It is Festivus. Hanukkah ended a couple of days ago. When Kwanzaa's in January, they're laggards on that.
I like Kwanzaa, but I have to think.
When is Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa to me and Hanukkah are very similar because they both involve candles.
And here's the deal: if today is Festivus,
Hold on.
was last night Erev Festivus for Jewish people,
I don't know. What
or
am I
does
saying?
Festivus start at sundown, or does it start? Being a Seinfeld thing, does it start literally in the middle of the day and end at 2:15 or something like that? I don't know. Any Festivus experts out there would be really helpful to hear from you.
So instead of doing Kwanzaa, I brought up Keanu Reeves.
Okay. Yeah, there's an accident. Yeah, my wife is looking for a Kwanzaa and magically brings up pictures of Keanu Reeves.
And they're all nude.
I would figure, yeah. So what does it say about
It says
Kwanzaa?
I'm offline. I don't know.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me check
I don't
Kwanzaa.
know.
I never know where to
Let
put
me
the
look.
A's.
Let me
There's like
look.
7 A's
Right
in
here,
Kwanzaa.
here,
What the hell is
here,
that?
here.
Here we go. Oh, Kwanzaa starts on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Cool. So they really do.
They stagger the
coincided,
holidays so you
yeah.
can celebrate all of them.
It's Tuesday through Monday. It's almost
I think
a
it's
week.
like unity, faith, not faith.
Look at this. They even have they steal from Hanukkah. They have like a
No,
6-candle
it's the same
menorah.
thing, and I'll tell you what they mean. It means
Yeah.
faith, unity. I forget the difference.
I'm sorry. Get your own thing.
No. It's different though.
Shouldn't be a candelabrum.
It's beautiful.
I don't care if it's beautiful. They have all
But
their
it's,
whole
no,
cultural
it's like
things.
Advent too. So if you look at the menorah, it's very much like the Advent.
Advent.
Yeah, so it's very similar.
Well, I think they should be more
so the
adventurous.
candles
They can do
are
things with kente cloths.
7 candles.
Yeah. No, excuse me.
Shush.
I'm not shush. It's my radio show. I'm saying, Jews have the menorah thing,
Listen, okay. It's Umoja, which is unity,
which
then
is from the
it's-
Emoji movie.
self-determination,
Yeah,
collective work and responsibility,
yeah.
cooperative economics,
Uh-huh.
purpose, creativity, and faith.
That's more. How many candles is that?
7.
Okay. So they have three candles on each side and one in the middle, right?
No, they're
Oh, they're
set,
just in
yeah,
a line?
they're just-
Excuse
and they're
me.
colored by group, by different group of feeling.
All right. So it's like a mood ring candelabra. I don't know. I'm saying, get your own thing. Festivus has a pole.
Diwali.
Oh, Diwali, what is
When's
that?
Diwali?
I don't know what is and when is Diwali. Because all these people, and I don't understand that either.
Oh, October.
Okay. I understand Christmas being done by like frozen Western white people to make November, December, January more tolerable. Because it's there's nothing going on. The days are really short. It's snowy. It's freezing. Why would these other cultures, including Jews, who live in like Israel, right, need a holiday in the middle of December when December is 73 degrees and gorgeous? It's like, you figure they put it somewhere else where they don't really, they never really. When does Africa need a holiday that makes people feel, we don't need our winter coats today? Same with India. Winter day in India is 87 degrees. Somebody explain that to me. I would be really interested in why everything has to dovetail with Christmas.
It doesn't dovetail. Calendars are different.
Well, Kwanzaa,
It's after. It probably.
it's the day after Christmas.
But it probably deals with. Well, it was an American guy who based it on African principles, so he's stuck in this Eurocentric mind.
And Jews use the whatever day of Kislev, the Hebrew calendar, to do Hanukkah, right?
Yeah, but
It's magically in December.
you could also say that if you use other calendar systems that don't base it on the way we base calendar, then you get other stuff.
Right, but they're obviously trying to move
But
these
there's
things
only
when
like so
Christmas
much
is.
time and days that you can do stuff.
There's 365 days when you can do stuff. They can do things on February 19th. That would be a perfect day for a holiday. It's still cold and, at least in America, it's cold and miserable. That's why they got the President's Day. Lincoln was probably born in August, but they're like, we don't really need it right now. So they moved him. George Washington was probably born like May 15th. But like, it's already vacation time.
Tell people what's on the show.
I'm going to tell people what's on the show.
You're rambling about how they said holidays.
Well, hey, here's something.
You're like a member of your family with one of the presidents. You're stuck. You're fixated.
And here's something that we can all be happy about. I get on this rant every year, but if you think about it, it's true.
What rant is that now?
This is the first week we really got snow here. We have a really cold time in Greeley, Colorado. It's like 10 degrees out. It'll get up to like 35 in the afternoon today. And then these are the winter times. It's winter. It ought to be. But just remember, folks, we hit the solstice 3 days ago. And as of yesterday, the days are already longer. The days are getting longer.
Yay! You have a clapper.
I gotta tell you, what was really nice yesterday was we were out at about 10 after 5.
Your shingles.
And it was still
your shingles were
clear out. No, we were.
You weren't sundowning.
Oh, I'm always sundowning. But even at 10 after 5 out here in Colorado, it was still kind of light out. Which, when we were back east in New York, 4:30 in the middle of winter, the sun was just like, and you're walking into the darkness.
That was so. I think that's what I would do if it was wintertime. I would make the days longer so people had more light. You don't want to wake up in the darkness and come back in darkness.
Yes. So
unless you're the Phantom of the Opera.
That's right. But it's true, and we have now. Today is going to be a minute or two longer of sunlight than yesterday. Isn't it? And it's going to be that way back east and in New York, where you guys are hit with darkness at a quarter to 5 now. So if you're depressed, if you have to deal with family that you hate over Christmas holiday, if you're sitting around, if you're coming out of your office at 5:02 and you're walking to your car and you got out of your car in the morning, it was dark.
People in New York don't have a car; they go to Subway.
All right. So but you know what I'm saying. Just think, one little positive thing to come out of this insane week is
Tio Kaka.
Our friend Potato is always a positive thing. Tio de Nadal, here he is.
Watch his.
Yeah, I gotta be very careful.
You sound like a sheep.
Here he is. The days are getting longer. Yay!
Catalan is also French because it would make sense to make him French.
Oh,
I'm gonna look.
I was confused about that too because a play opened on Broadway this past week that involved King Philippe, and I saw King Philippe. It must be French, but it was King Philippe of Spain. So these names and who owns what back then.
It's like sometimes the Portuguese it says.
Yeah. What was it?
Autonomous Community of Spain, Northeast Spain.
Yeah.
Lively beaches of Costa Brava and the Pyrenees Mountains. Barcelona is the capital. Gothic corner, pedestrian.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up.
Joyce is looking up.
Plan a trip. What's the difference between? Are the Catalan Spanish? Here we go.
Aren't the Catalan Spanish?
Is definitely a whole separate language, language and not a dialect of Spanish.
Yeah.
It's different. It has Spanish, French, and Italian. It's closer to the latter two than to Spanish, more French and Italian. Catalan has comparisons of the three.
Huh.
They got independence from Spain.
So wait, are they a country?
It says, they're separate. They're a republic. They're independent. It's a, let's see. Okay, hold on.
A republic with some interesting traditions.
Tio Kaka, yeah.
No, it's not Tio Kaka. It's Tio de Nadal.
I like calling him Tio Kaka.
I don't blame you, yeah.
Why can't I call him
Kakalanda or whatever else they call it. So anyway, we're our own independent little republic here.
Catalonia, that's why she called it Catalonia. That's probably what they call it.
Oh, it probably is called Catalonia, yeah. Where all the deer and the Catalonians roam.
Play.
Huh. It's on the northeastern extremity of the Iberian Peninsula. So that's what happens when you have places that are on the extremity. They go to extremes.
It's like the Tyroleans, like my people. They're like,
They do what they want. Well, wait a minute.
What?
Barcelona is in there, you said.
Yeah.
But Barcelona's in Spain, isn't it?
Well, maybe not.
I don't know my social studies. I should take a soak. How's your phone?
Let me see.
Joyce almost dropped her phone there.
No, you threw it at me.
Lisa says, today Catalonia, tomorrow California. Yes, indeed. What else? Oh, I never did tell everybody what's going to be on this episode of the Dave's Gone By show. So we have our usual panoply, our mix of humor and talk and music and stuff. For example, we have Greeley Crimes and Old Times that we will be getting to very, very shortly. We'll have our Bob Dylan Sooner and Later segment, in which we will talk about, or we'll play some Bob Dylan songs involving Harding, not Tonya, or not Warren G., but Bob Dylan's album John Wesley Harding, which came out this week many years ago. We'll also have Saturday segues of rather depressing and demented Christmas songs, because those are the only ones I will play, as well as our Saturday segue of songs in the news. And what else? Oh, and we'll have a My Sick Mind segment. I know how you all love those, where I'll make some hilarious jokes about Amtrak. And we'll have our beloved Rabbi Saul Solomon has a rabbinical reflection. Yeah. He hasn't done one of those in months. He's been so busy doing our interviews and praying that, but here it is, it's the holidays, and he felt compelled after the United Nations vote 2 days ago to do a rabbinical reflection on Donald Trump saying the truth and the obvious that the capital of Israel is Jerusalem, and America's going to move its embassy there at some point in the foreseeable future, let's say. So I can't wait to hear what Rabbi Saul has to say about that. And welcome, by the way, to Terry, and welcome to Lawrence, and to all those other folks who are listening. I lost the scroll. A couple of
I'll look on my phone how to keep the scroll on the Facebook.
Yeah, or well, no, let's do Greeley Crimes all times, and we can do that
Okay.
later. But is there anything else we want to talk about? It's like 9:33 already.
No, you talked about all the poop stuff you wanted, and
Oh, well,
you went on a
Theo
few,
de Nadal.
you went on a few rants, so you're happy, you're satiated.
Well, I talked about the thing I love, a little bit of weather and the time zone. And
Yeah, you love that. You love
Days
time
get
zone
longer,
and
yeah.
ranting about poop. Yeah.
Oh, I love ranting about poop.
Yeah.
So happy Cho de Nadal almost to all of you. Happy Festivus to everybody. And let's do Greeley Crimes and Old Times. Wait. And the green one you should have. Da-da. Blah-dee-doo. Blah-dee-doo. So Greeley Crimes and Old Times. This is a cool segment that we do every week based on actual stories that are in our local newspaper, the Greeley Tribune. One of them is where the staff there collate the phone calls that come into the Weld County Police Department, where people are calling 911. They're calling the Popo for helpo. And sometimes,
I saw Mike Peters in one of the papers that he wrote another book, and it's on Amazon, like a fiction book or something.
Yeah. Well, he retired. I didn't realize this from the Greeley
Trip.
Like
a fiction. It's something like a ghost town or
something road or something
ghost town.
Ghost town.
Yeah, he's writing a lot of stuff.
Good for him.
Ghostface is, I think, a rapper.
Yeah.
I'm Ghostface Killer.
But Mike Peters writes the other story, and that is the one and he still does this, I guess, where he goes into the newspapers from 100 years ago, our local paper, and in a nostalgic and amusing way, the weirdest, funniest, most eccentric stories that were put in the Greeley newspapers back in 1917. So we kind of mix them up. We call it Greeley Crimes and Old Times because it's a fun column in the paper, and we love to read them and share them with you here in the neighborhood. So are you ready?
Yes, sir.
For Greeley Crimes and Old Times?
Yes, sir.
Police received a call from 8th Street. The caller reported...
8th Street is where...
Yeah. Well, this caller is reporting an oil and gas employee who continuously ran his diesel truck at all hours of the night. When confronted, the man was sitting in his truck.
That's good. That's the first one we had that proved true.
Well, yeah, it's a true story. And I guess, if he didn't have the truck running, he'd be freezing in there.
But how much I guess he's probably in a fracking site. That's what it is.
Or something, yeah.
Why would you run your truck? That's weird.
Yeah. And if it's on 8th Street, I don't have the cross street, but it wouldn't be right near where the fracking's going on. He's probably just making phone calls or staying away. I don't know.
That's weird. That's a weirdo.
I'm sorry. There was more.
Oh no.
There was more to this. I missed this. One confronted the man was sitting in his truck watching Netflix. Because what better place to watch Netflix?
You know, if I was thinking instead of the comfort of my own living room, I was thinking we just sit in the garage with the door shut and the car going, and we watch some Netflix.
Absolutely, yeah. Because Cartoon Network is better in a car.
No, maybe he was borrowing someone's Wi-Fi. You know.
Oh, I wonder.
That's what I wonder. Yeah.
It doesn't say he was watching on his phone. He might have had like one of those
screens. I think he had a widescreen TV.
Yeah. And he said he didn't think his truck was that loud. Maybe his truck was really soft. It was just blasting the movie.
Maybe he's just getting deaf, you know. He doesn't hear.
Well, he can't hear over the sound of the truck.
Because he's got earphones in, listening to watching Grace and Frankie.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what the truck driver's watching. Oh, look, Sex and the City 2 is on. Oh, yeah. Oh, Miranda.
I think that's what he's probably watching. What's the one with the
and he's probably watching Sex, period.
What's the cartoons we watch with those little fish?
Gumball. Amazing World of Gumball, yeah.
That's what he's watching.
Oh, we saw 2 classic Gumball episodes this week. We saw the potato episode.
Oh, yeah.
And you like the one where the father becomes a bodybuilder?
He gets so he takes his father's go-go juice and he gets all ripped and everything, and he becomes very narcissistic, and then they lure him away with like a hamburger, and then he becomes like a gelatinous mass again.
That happened, yeah. Hey, it took me a while to get into Gumball, but it's very good.
The one I liked is they went through like a montage of when they first met the parents, and then they had the kids. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
I liked that. Yeah,
it's a good show. Yeah, I mean, for someone who's really into Rick and Morty right now, I go back and I watch that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty darn smart too. You know. Anyway, it was just discovered.
Oh, good.
That 600 pounds of arsenic.
Yum!
Was found buried under an old warehouse in Greeley. Officials said there was just enough poison to kill every person and every head of livestock in Weld County.
Thank goodness. Yeah, we have enough. But it probably was used. A lot of people used arsenic to get rid of rats. Rat poison. They used to use arsenic.
That was arsenic.
Yeah,
okay,
arsenic and old lace was from the rat poison, I thought.
A great menace to public welfare. It has been removed and brought to the Taco Loco in Evans.
No, and it's been kept for the hobos and the chickens. Yeah.
What's kind of cool is imagine like an old warehouse in 1917, which is, I mean, how old must it have been back then? But anyway, welcome to Paul, welcome to David, Wayne, and to so many of the other folks who have been listening and watching and enjoying this TV/radio program, Dave's Gone By. I want to let you know a couple of things. First of all, to find out more about this radio program, go to davesgoneby.com, davesgoneby.com. This is where not only you can read about the show and see a whole bunch of pictures of this gorgeous mug, but our archives reside there. So as I mentioned in the first half hour, there's a fellow from England who tunes into this program on Saturdays. It's 4 o'clock over in the United Kingdom. In the afternoon, but he likes to watch and listen, but today he can't do it, so he's going to listen in the archives tomorrow. Now, a lot of times Facebook will save what we're doing right now, so you can actually watch it on Facebook. But if you can't, or if you want to hear the music the way it's supposed to be heard, the proper way, because this is a radio program, not a television show, go to our website, davesgoneby.com. Every show we have ever done since the very beginning is there for free. You can stream it right on your computer. You can download it as an MP3. You can listen to it as a podcast from our very first episode in October of 2002 all the way up through last week. Virtually every show we've done has been saved and is in listenable quality. The hundreds of guests that we've had, the comedy bits, the music, the talk, the culture, it's all there at davesgoneby.com. Now, right now, we are in the middle of Greeley crimes and old times.
I want a hobo story.
I don't know if we have a hobo story, but we do.
Chicken?
Please get the alarm. Please get the alert. This is very important. This is a major thing right here. Chicken alert! Chicken alert! Chicken alert in our Greeley crimes and old times. Police received a call from 28th Street and 83rd Avenue.
Whoa, wait, that's way far up. 23rd and 80.
Well, actually, that's not far from our vet, but okay. 28th Street and 83rd Avenue. Well, the caller said Actually, wait a minute. Would that? Well, we're off 20th.
Yeah.
So 8th would be a little further over, 28th Street.
Yeah.
The caller said that
Toward
someone,
the highway. Yeah.
someone had dropped off, quote, a box full of chickens
Oh, nice.
in a cornfield, and the chickens were climbing out of the aforementioned
Of
box.
course.
In all, police contained 8 chickens, although one escaped into the corn.
Wow.
Chicken in the corn.
It's like break free as the bird chicken.
On Halloween night. Baga!
I know.
Baga!
He has a little he was like Rambo. He's
Yeah.
got the little and he's like mad. He's like he goes to find the people who abandoned him.
He's got extra sharp
Yeah, but they
talons.
probably saved his life by letting him out.
Well, I
They
mean,
probably thought. I mean, if you're gonna leave a chicken, where are you
Well,
gonna?
a cornfield,
You're not
yeah.
gonna put him in a drive-through. You're gonna bring him to or Target. You're gonna bring him to a farm.
not going to bring him to the Greeley Ice House.
I would have probably found a farm that had chickens,
Well, I would do
and then
that.
just introduced the new chickens.
Or bring him to the vet. The vet would have been 4 blocks away.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Can't you sell chickens? Put them on Craigslist.
yeah. Well, you have to keep them until you sell
Oh,
them.
yeah, that's true.
But where do you get a box full of living? They weren't chicks. These were
Well,
chickens.
remember the other day we saw the icy day. We saw animal control.
Yeah.
I asked people, and they said it probably was a farm vehicle that got involved, like maybe with cows or chickens. So maybe they fell off the truck.
Oh, maybe.
Like there was an accident, and they fell off the truck.
There was a box of chickens that was going to be sold.
Yeah, and it fell off. Yeah.
They should bring them to that place by the supermarket where they have baby chicks for Easter time.
I think those are special though.
Oh, really? Well, they wear little helmets and they have to go to a special school.
Oh, little chicks.
Police received a call from
Okay.
19th Avenue Court, which is one of my favorite courts, actually.
I hate they do that. Street court,
I
road,
know.
street road.
Well, the courts, I figured out, it's the ones that don't go all the way through to anywhere and
like
sort of
a
turn
gun.
into the actual street.
That's crazy.
The caller reported a neighbor who consistently threw...
Chickens?
No. This is not a chicken alert. The neighbor would consistently throw squirrel carcasses
Oh God!
over the fence into her yard.
Why?
Why?
I'm asking why. Maybe for a dog.
She even had, the woman had a video of her neighbor doing this. I don't know. Maybe it was Tio de nadal, and she filled the log with dead squirrels, and she was bashing the log open, and the squirrels were
It's
flying.
probably some neighbor violence. That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean,
God.
it's not like when you're ticked off because your neighbor's dog or cat starts piddling in your yard and you want to throw the poop.
It's
No, this
much
is like
better.
dead squirrels.
Well, the squirrels are evil. I was talking to a friend after we had an event.
You have friends?
I know.
Oh, by the way, speaking of friends and family, hello, Auntie Essie.
Yay!
Auntie
Let me
Essie
give
is
you a
watching.
whistle. Where's the whistle?
A drink to you, Auntie Essie. And love to you, and love to the grandkids and Deborah and Bobby. So hello.
Give her a whistle.
I'll give Esther. I'm not going to give my aunt a sexy whistle.
Oh, no, but
What should I give her? Where's the whistle here? I'll give her this. As a whistle from the other end.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So anyway,
That's sad.
squirrel carcasses.
Squirrels, yeah.
Oh,
I was saying this story. So we were talking, and I said, "Look at all the squirrels in that tree!" And all of a sudden, a piece of bark the size of your hand flew down at us.
Oh.
They were throwing bark at us.
Well, they're squirrels. I asked you. They're not as bad as raccoons.
Well, the squirrels on campus eat like Cheetos. They get like leftover Starbucks. They have
They
Fat
better than I
Shack.
do. Yeah.
I mean, they get a lot of food. They're not suffering. And then the guy who can't feed them anymore used to hand feed them peanuts. Oh
Yeah.
God.
My dad told me that when he was young, he used to be able to feed squirrels. He'd hand them some kind of acorn or nut or something. I wouldn't feed a squirrel.
No.
Because
In New
they got
York,
sharp teeth.
maybe kids in New York feed rats. That's
Nasty, sharp,
yeah.
pointy
No way.
teeth.
No.
Yeah,
No. You don't do that.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No.
An ocelot I might feed by hand.
No.
Possibly.
You
Possible
could feed a
ocelot.
potato by hand.
Oh, of course I would feed a potato by hand. Because they eat ketchup.
Yeah.
There should be a ketchup packet in
Yeah,
our Tio de
yeah.
nadal.
Tell them about the elevation ketchup.
Oh, that was good.
It was delicious.
We were in Loveland this week, the land of love. Oh, and Esther, my Auntie Essie, says nice. I think she's responding to the fart noise. I'll do it again just for you, Essie.
Oh,
Here we
that's
go.
sweet.
So
Do one on this that's louder. Pick one.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, this has This is what I think of when I think of Esther. Uh-oh. So that's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one.
Oh, God.
I love these noise machines. Anyway, wait. We went from squirrels to ocelots to what were you saying?
You were talking.
I was talking. I only remember. It's my Alzheimer's kicking in.
Keep going.
No, I didn't get to the next one. We were talking about something where feeding the potato ketchup.
Yes, elevation ketchup.
Yes, we were at. I love the synapses are still firing. This is synapse in my brain. It's like, oh, think of something. Try and connect it to something else you're thinking of. And yes, I made the connection.
That's exactly how brain biochemistry works. Yeah.
So I'm climbing the ladder. It's like we went from this to that to the ketchup to
Good, very
elevation
good.
ketchup and level. And we were in a diner actually that is now in Greeley too. Doug's
But they don't
Diner.
they don't have the same ketchup here.
Oh, that's sad.
You could write a note, write a suggestion.
Very good food in this diner, and they had not Heinz ketchup, not Hunk's ketchup, not generic store brand ketchup, but a local Denver ketchup called Elevation. That's like $8 a friggin' bottle. I don't know why, but I do know why, because it's really good. And it's kind of almost a cross between the ketchup we're used to and tomato sauce, tomato paste. The first ingredient is tomato puree. It's not vinegar, it's not sugar, it's not.
It's really good. It was so delicious, David. I've never seen it in plastic. I can go to Farmer's Pantry and see if they have the plastic version now. Because the glass one was more expensive, but you're paying for the bottle.
Oh, maybe, yes.
So, and that, I could check.
Yeah, I don't want to do a commercial here for the Elevation people, but it was very nice.
You should ask them if they'll sponsor Potato Day.
Whoa.
Like, why can't Potato Day get a sponsor that makes ketchup?
That would be genius.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's contact the Elevation people. Stop doing I'll jinx you if you do that.
Jinx you if you do that.
Anyway. Are we ready for our next Greeley Crime and Old Time? Turn your microphone off. I have the power here. I can do it. Anywho. People are watching this. People are enduring this.
I think we're like a mental health case study, David. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, certainly speaking for me, that's for sure.
Remember when they made a mistake on your degree and they almost gave you a PhD in clinical psychology? That would have been.
But let's say I printed that out and put that on my wall.
Yeah, you should do that.
What could I have? Would have been?
If you would have had that, you could have used that to apply for jobs and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe I blew up that opportunity.
You probably still have it in your email.
Oh, I wonder. Because what was it? They sent me a.
They were vetting you for your thesis, but they thought you were doing a dissertation in clinical psychology.
And I passed. They gave me the degree.
They did, yeah.
And then stupid me is, no, it's not a dissertation in psychology. It's just a master's in theater education. And oh, sorry, we made a mistake. I made a mistake.
You should get it and put it on your wall.
As I said, I could have had $100,000 doctorate.
Yeah, not $100,000.
For 7 years of school. How much does it cost?
I don't know. Most people don't go as long as I did. I did because I taught.
Yeah. Well, people take time to do it takes a while to do their dissertations, so.
It took me a while to get the data because it was Johns Hopkins data. And then I had a trouble because I was teaching at 2 universities, so it was rough.
Well.
Better than working in the mines.
And there are students here at UNC who do their undergrad degrees in 6 years.
Yeah, let me tell you though. We saw that thing about Adam Trick's financial aid or uncovers it. It's don't if you can save money and do it.
Heck yeah. Take AP classes if you're in high school.
Yeah, go to community colleges, get your basics, and come to the biggies.
And then do what I mean. One of the cool things is I took summer classes when I was doing my undergrad degree. That helped me finish early because every year tuition goes up.
I know.
They make a big deal that it's, I think, only going up 3% this year.
While
our salaries stay the same. Yeah.
Yay.
Anywho.
You can't get blood from a stone.
I wonder.
Well, I kind of feel this way.
If you cut open Ron Wood or Mick Jagger, there'd be some blood.
I feel like, the way that you treat people is a reflection of your ethical practices. And if you have no ethics, it's a problem.
I guess.
It's a huge problem.
Anyway. Here's something that has to do with ethics. Police received a call from 16th Avenue. The caller was browsing Google Images when a window popped up inviting the caller to join ISIS.
What images were they watching?
I wonder.
I mean, usually like the interwebs has algorithms. So like if you're looking to buy a pair of jeans, every time you log on, there's like jeans on sale, But
I was just Googling Americans getting their heads cut off.
I mean, like, what are you Googling that comes up?
Yeah.
And so what happened?
Well, the caller did not want to join ISIS.
Maybe he was looking for a girl named Isis.
I wonder. He was looking for YouTube videos of Bob Dylan saying ISIS, or Egyptian hieroglyphic things. But no, and I get this. The caller was concerned about being tracked down. Because if ISIS is sending you
I just
message.
called to say
Come
I
join
love
us.
you,
Yeah.
and if you don't join us, we'll stalk you in your home. I don't know. That's creepy.
The airplanes.
Yeah, but I
they
watched.
fly so high.
There's an ad saying that like a lot of people make fake websites and fake offers and stuff. So people do things like that. Who
No, but
knows?
it's one thing to
It could have
get
been a friend spoofing him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, no. How does a friend spoof? How if I wanted to send you something,
Mhm.
right? I could send you an email.
Did he get an
I
email?
can give you a pop-up
How did he
window.
get a pop? You could if you were a programmer engineer.
I guess.
They do that. That's what they do for fun. It probably was a hacker.
I would
It
hope.
probably was the guy with Netflix in his car.
I wonder, like, if it was real, what would you have to do? It was like, please, are you over 21? Check this box,
Mhm.
right?
Name 3 references.
Do you mind if we send you an email every 2 days? If not,
Yeah.
how often do you want to be contacted by ISIS? Once a week?
I think
Once a month?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, please don't unsubscribe. If you join us now, you get an extra virgin when you die.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah. Anyway,
Very bizarre.
the federal government's new flower law
Mm-hmm.
was violated by a Greeley business. Food Administrator C.T. Ahistrand
Mm-hmm.
said a Greeley businessman ordered a train carload of flour directly from the mill in Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
He planned on selling it in Greeley to people who would buy 20 bags each.
Oh, good.
So there's kind of like a scalper of flour here.
Yeah, like a Ponzi scheme.
But he's been warned and will now sell the flour 1 bag at a time.
Oh.
The government's new limit means a family can only purchase 1 50-pound bag of flour at. I was wartime. I guess they were
wartime.
not hoarding, but what's the word? The rationing
Mm-hmm.
any kind of food and flour at that time. So
Yeah.
I guess
The gluten-free people don't care. They're like, yay!
I feel bad for like a family where rats got into the flour and then they can't buy another one until maybe the next day. But
No, probably. Yeah, well, you just got to share. That's why people shared years ago.
true. You know what? I want to share with you
What?
another chicken alert. It's chicken alert time. Chicken. I'll do the bell. You do the whole. We'll go home. Chicken alert. Oh boy. It's a double this week.
Wow.
Police received a call from 28th Avenue and 10th Street. The caller wanted to know if chicken ownership was legal in Greeley.
Maybe that's the one who dumped the box of chickens. They're like, uh-oh.
Well, what do you think the answer was?
Yes.
No. A resounding yes.
Whoa.
Chicken ownership is very legal in Greeley, apparently.
Nice.
The conversation then turned to how the caller feeds, quote, one really old cat. That is a stray cat.
What?
Yeah, apparently this caller just likes to talk to cops. The caller was surprised to learn that by feeding the really old cat, what do you think that means? If you start feeding a
You
stray
own
cat.
it. You own it.
Who
Of
knew?
course.
Wait, she technically under
If
the
you
law
know,
owns the cat.
that's something you got to put a ring on it. You know,
Yeah.
that's the same thing. If you feed a cat, you own it.
But it's a cat. It goes wherever. You just
Yeah,
put,
but if you feed it, then it's your cat.
Whoa. So let's say that cat goes and
That's what
attacks.
happened to us. Like, I didn't really want you, but you kept coming to my apartment. You slept over, and I kept feeding you, and then all of a sudden you were mine.
Hmm.
That's how it happened.
It happens that way. Yeah. I'm sorry about those times I clawed you.
Yeah, I was going to declaw you, but I found out they take out the joint of the cat nail, so I don't want to do that.
Plus, my joint is so small you couldn't even reach it. But anyway,
I'm very happy that you learned to use the litter box.
thank you. Yeah, well, got
And
a
you
little
stopped
tired.
bringing dead mice and birds. That was very sweet.
Aw.
That's
Aw.
when you used to bring me gifts.
I still give you my hairballs. Don't even know what that means.
I don't even know.
But so wait a minute. Let's say you feed a stray cat. right?
Yeah.
Just saying, you lay out food. You never take it into your house.
It's urine. It'd be urine.
It's not urine. It goes
It's
in the litter
urine.
box.
It's yours.
And that cat goes and
Goes
impregnates or tears up a house cat from somebody's
Then you
pure
pay. You gotta
bread.
pay. You gotta
Oh
pay
my
for
God.
tabby.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Why would she be talking or he be talking to the police about their menagerie of animals? That's
I don't know. They just got on to another subject. I guess if you ever want to call a cop and you want to talk about something, and then somebody, while I've got you on the phone,
Let me talk about my old cat.
I know I'm being raped at the moment, but
Oh, God.
if I need to throw out a refrigerator,
Oh my God, that's so weird. I don't understand. They should have a community liaison officer in the police who does all this stuff.
yeah,
Then they could go out and investigate and talk to the squirrel people and just have a nice time.
they're all gonna be the cops who don't have to do
Yeah.
real cop stuff.
No, they're nice to people and they go out and they're like, hey, okay, so now so this is your cat. Yeah, she's old. They
Yeah,
could bring cookies and milk and tea and stuff. Be
Oh.
nice, very civil.
direction giving cops.
Yeah.
Because I always wonder, if you stop and ask a cop directions.
I did that in
which they
Canada.
do.
No, I did that in Canada. So
Yeah.
Okay. We're at the American Sociological Association's conference in Canada. It was in Vancouver.
Yes,
I was in
know.
Vancouver.
Yeah,
And the building looks like Grand Central or something. Not Grand Central. It looks like Port Authority. It's nondescript. It's a nondescript conference center.
yeah.
So, and I'm using my GPS, but it doesn't work because I don't get Wi-Fi. My signal. So I can't find out where I'm going. I'm walking into this industrial area that looks like factories in Queens.
Oh, boy.
It's not a good deal.
Yeah.
So then I see this cop and I'm like, I don't know the culture. Can I ask him? So I look at him and I say, I'm trying to get to this conference center. I can't use my GPS and my phone's not working. I'm like, can I ask you how to go? And he looked about 14 and he's like, sure you can. And then he gave me directions, but I don't want him to shoot me.
Well, Canadians are supposed to be so polite. They're Mounties. They're not going
He
to.
was in a car in a bad neighborhood. I thought, I don't know.
He was probably scoring some drugs. He probably had some in his system, and he was feeling friendly.
very nice. And then I
Because you're a cute girl, of course it was
No,
nice.
and then I got lost again. And then I went in a coffee shop, and the woman didn't know. And I asked this woman, and she's like, "Oh yeah," she said, "You'd never know it. It's a building it looks like a office building, almost like an office building that's like Penn Station with no description. It was very weird. So yeah, but I was like, oh, he's going to shoot me.
No,
I don't trust police. I don't trust any administrative. I'm scared of them.
I know it's right to be scared of
He's
police.
got a gun. He's in a car.
Yes, but you're white.
It's in a seedy neighborhood. Everyone in Canada appeared white.
Yeah, that's true. I know. I always thought Canadian police never carry guns.
No, that's
Or in England or
they're-
something
yeah.
like that. But I guess they do.
Also, Vancouver is very French, so I didn't know how that took.
Oh.
Yeah.
Should you put on your French accent?
No, we had
Your
this-
Catalan accent?
We had the best. Natalie had crepes, and I had it was like an omelet with this one of the you call them the stinky cheeses. It was so
I like
good.
those
Oh my
cheeses.
God! Every day we go there. I was like, Natalie, let's get our yummy food.
And I realize it's 2 days before Christmas, but I just don't believe in cheeses.
You don't like cheese, really. You're not a dairy.
No, I'm not. I never did. Well, pizza. Everybody likes pizza. I like pizza.
Yeah, but you're not a big
Munster's
cheese eater.
okay. I grew up on Velveeta, which is one of the best
That's
of
not
all.
cheese. It's like petroleum.
I hate Swiss. I hate blue cheese. Any of
I
the
love
stinky,
the
veiny,
blue.
runny. Ugh,
Yum,
camembert,
yum, yum.
just give me a regular
You like
nice.
brie. You wrote your play
Brie's
about
okay.
brie.
Well, just because I wrote the character name was that doesn't mean I like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. What's the one that's okay? Jack is all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get back, Jack.
I don't want to put too much Jack on, so sometimes I jack off. That's comedy. Got me with the ooga horn. Don't throw the horn. Oh no! See, it gets on the board, and then we wonder why things aren't okay. Everything's fine. All right.
Don't
doing really-
admonish me.
By the
Keep
way,
going.
it's 10 o'clock Mountain Time here at the University of Northern Colorado in Greeley, Colorado. The Dave's Gone By radio program of the air on UNC Radio, the radio station of the University of Northern Colorado, where I, Dave Lefkowitz, and my darling and adorable wife, Joyce, start every program with some banter and with Greeley crimes and old times. Got time for a couple more?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got nothing.
Well, because it's 10 o'clock, so sometimes we stop around now. But let's
We don't
do a
have,
couple
and
more.
we don't have to go out to eat later. We're fine. We'll just go shopping.
Okay, fine. According to the Tribune Republican column, now the Greeley Tribune back then in 1917 was called the Tribune Republican.
Or
Which I'll tell you something about this town.
It was also called.
Yes, the Taton Tilly 2 place.
Taton Tilly 2.
Yeah. According to the newspaper and its columnist M.E. Knapp, we need to show more respect for our hired help on the farms. We should no longer refer to hired hands as necessary evils or a blessing thoroughly disguised.
That's what I call you.
Or actually, a blessing thoroughly disguised as Mexicans.
Back then, it was probably not.
What would
It was probably Germans and other Irish, probably ethnic groups.
Oh.
Yeah, the West. Remember, all the people came out and built railroads and came out, and all the immigrant groups came out.
Yes, but even back then, we were, well, not even back then, especially back then, we were awful to the people who do the work that we don't want to do.
Yeah, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Right?
I know. Okay. This is not the setup to a joke,
Okay.
but by God, it ought to be.
Okay.
An American and a Bulgarian,
Go into a bar.
worse, they go into a coal mine and have a fight.
Oh no, my people are miners. Don't mess with coal miners.
Well, see, you shouldn't be messing with miners. That's what got Kevin Spacey into trouble. But you know,
Nay.
the American won the fight and was arrested. However, the American was dismissed when witnesses refused to testify against him. The judge told him, quote, "Remember, you are an American citizen and don't get in trouble in the future." The Bulgarian community was angered
Of
by the case.
course.
Gee, go
Yeah,
figure.
William Zanzinger.
Yeah,
Your cool Hattie Carroll.
the politics of
Maryland,
Weld County.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, this is so weird. What did you just mention that you went?
William Zanzinger?
No,
Oh, Vancouver, eh?
Dateline, Vancouver.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Here we go. Okay, Dateline, Vancouver.
Yes. You look very cute today, by the way, honey.
Thank you.
I like you, and this is a good color for you.
Canadian officials are investigating, this is true, Canadian officials are investigating why a human foot
Oh, God. David, no, not the, no.
washed ashore on
No.
Vancouver Island last week.
Not the, no.
It was the 13th foot to appear along the British Columbia coastline in the last 10 years. Mike Johns, age 56,
It's so freaky.
told the Vancouver Island News he was walking along the Jordan River on the southern part of the island Thursday when his dog made the stunning find.
Oh, God.
She was sniffing the bones, said Johns. So I stopped and took a look, and I saw the bones and noticed it was attached to a shoe. The foot was still inside a sock inside the black shoe.
Why are they taking people's feet off?
I don't know. I guess they don't have a leg to stand on, but you know.
Why are you doing the fax machine?
I just grab any button.
Okay. You want me to paint one with nail polish so you know it's the right one?
What I want is my my instant rim shot website
Okay,
again.
hold on.
I need
I'll
that.
get it for you. Hold on, here.
Okay,
I'll
Joyce
get
is
it.
looking for my instant rim
I'll get
shot.
it. You just
So, authorities say the foot could have come from someone in Oregon or Alaska and washed ashore during the high tide. No word on whether there was foul play involved, although police believe the crime must... Oh, here we go. Get ready, okay? Okay, this is important. Get ready. So, the police don't know if there's any foul play involved, right?
Yeah.
But they do believe the crime must have been committed by an arch enemy. Oh, son of a gun. God darn it. See, this is an instant rim shot app that is supposed to play.
Give it to me.
It's not working.
Hold on. Just don't you're like him.
There we go.
Press it.
See, it wasn't working for me. Here.
Here you go. Okay.
Okay, so take 3. The crime of the missing foot
Yes.
must have been committed by an arch enemy. Oh, son of a bitch. Bloody thing.
You're not that good with
I
it.
see that.
You also-
This is why I didn't become a sound designer. Anywho. Well, you are the keeper of the noises. So let's see if we have another one. Police received a call. All right, don't show off. How are you doing? You're not even pressing it? Oh, you are pressing it. All right.
Let me show you now. Here, let me give you.
I'm just putting my thumb on it. Okay.
See?
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to put this on my thumb on. I'm telling you. Yeah, mazel tov.
One more.
Okay. An arch enemy. There we
Okay,
go.
I'm gonna
Beautiful.
take this off because you're.
Anywho, police received a call from 35th Avenue. The caller worked for a restaurant and complained that a man had walked inside and was singing Sunshine.
Was it you?
Must have been.
Sunshine and happy
Big lops. I don't know if it was sunshine on my shoulders or just,
That's lovely.
I guess.
Wouldn't it? But maybe he's a caroler for Festivus or
Oh,
something.
could be.
Yeah.
Sunshine on my pole makes
Yeah.
me happy.
I don't know. That's not a bad thing. I mean, there could be a lot worse things people could be singing.
Well, yeah, but you're sitting in a restaurant.
What about if he's singing "Baby's Got Back" or something?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, dead skunk in the middle of the road.
Yeah, no,
that would not
that'd
be
be
appropriate
bad,
for a
yeah.
restaurant. Yeah.
Who
All right.
stole the cookie from the cookie jar? And that would have been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, are you ready for our
I
final?
put the thing away, so don't make anything that needs a rim shot.
Well, we have this. We
Oh,
have
okay, good, yeah.
we have the Uga horn. We have the bell. We have the potato.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of noises on this. Oh, in fact, I can even do it with this. Here we go.
Okay.
Police received a call from a parent whose son would not get up for school. The man wanted an officer to, quote, come tell his son who the parent is.
Whoa! Wow.
There you go.
I think that's his job. It's called parenting.
Yeah.
That's your job. You have kids, parent them.
Well,
People are so remiss about parenting. Like, the police are not going to parent your kids.
Well,
Get a nanny. If you can't handle your kid, get
Oh,
that nanny.
we don't have kids. We
Yeah.
never did. We never will. But
How
you
do you
can
know?
say, do not. Well, I don't know. Oh my goodness.
What?
Is there something I should know, Dave?
No,
I would think not.
No.
But dealing with even one kid, let alone
You don't need a policeman. You get
Oh.
a nanny. Put them in military school. That's what you do.
not when they're 6.
Yeah, go for it. They're old enough. If they can put on their clothes and they can wash their face and feed themselves, they're ready.
So I can't even do that, and I'm 53.
No, I know.
I don't want to wash my face. I like my face the way it is, and it needs. My face looks better with grime. And you should have an
You
entire
don't wash
layer
your
of
face
soot.
every day? You don't wash it every day?
Yeah.
Every day.
What?
Wash your face and change
I
your
wash my
undies.
hands. I don't
And
wash.
change your undies every day.
I mean, I do wash my nether regions. Those
Oh,
are
good.
important,
Thank goodness.
so that I don't stink
That
up
explains
under a
those
table.
dirty washcloths underneath the bed.
It
yeah.
would, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was Greeley Crimes in Old Times. Yay! Yeah, Greeley Crimes and Old Times here on the Dave's Got My Radio program of the air with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling wife, Joyce, who joins us for the first part of the show. So we've got so much more to do on this episode of the Dave's Got My Radio show.
I'm going to be leaving you, baby.
Oh, babe, can't stick around. Well, we have music to play. We'll have our 2 Saturday segues, one of them in the news, the other about the holidays, about Christmas. Also, we will have our Bob Dylan Sooner and Later song celebrating the anniversary of the release. Oh my God, 50 years ago, John Wesley Harding, the Dylan album was released, and we'll celebrate that. And we'll have a My Sick Mind segment of my little jokes about the Amtrak crash. And Rabbi Saul Solomon will be in the neighborhood doing his rabbinical reflection about the capital of Israel being Jerusalem, as it has been, and it just so happens that our president is finally making that clear to the world. But anyway, the rabbi will have his piece about that. And also, we'll go inside Broadway for news of the Rialto. So welcome, everybody. Hello to Howard. And let's see, my Auntie Essie's been listening, and I can't really see all the other folks who tuned in. But welcome, of course. And what else did I want to tell you? Oh, we couldn't do this radio program without the fine, kind people at Hewlett Minuteman Press, the copy kings of Broadway in Hewlett, Long Island. Since the 1970s, the Toron family has owned and operated the Minuteman franchise 2.5 blocks from the LIRR in Hewlett. Also, they're across the street from those 4 banks and the big Petco. But the main thing is, doesn't matter what you need done there. It can be like a couple of black and white copies, can be color copies, laminated, spiral binding, perfect binding, plus putting your logo or design on a jacket or a hat or socks or a balloon or a banner. Hewlett Minuteman Press does what it can to help you get out the word about your business. If you need to make calendars or pens and pencils with your logo. Thank you, sweetie. That's my darling and wonderful wife, Joyce. So bringing us a farewell for the show, but I'll see you later. I'll give you a buzz when we're done here. Whoa. Yeah, but try to stream. Our stream should be working if you can't get Facebook. On your computer.
What do you call that?
And try Streama.
iTunes.
Or iTunes, or if you can't do the iTunes, do STREEMA. Streema.com is another way that you can listen to this program. You're all watching on Facebook here, but if you're having some issues with the stream, or you want to tell people to listen and they're on their phone, they don't want to watch a Facebook video, then Streema, STREEMA.com is a place that you can hear this show. Just look for UNC Student Radio. But love you, sweetie. Hewlett Minuteman Press, getting back to that. If you tell them Dave sent you get 10% off any job, big or small. So give them a call on Tuesday morning, because they're closed for the weekend. I believe, even though they're a bunch of Jewish people, I'm pretty sure they're closed for the Christmas holiday. But they should be back on Tuesday morning, 8:30. No, excuse me. Forgive me, I have forgotten. They are closed for the holidays. They take the whole week off till the end of the year. So on January 2nd, then contact Hewlett Minuteman Press. So I'm afraid your business will have to wait and collapse for the next week until Hewlett Minuteman can help you when they're back at their offices in Hewlett. But anyway, their number is 516-569-5577. Area code 516-569-5577. Hewlett Minuteman Press. They are the copy kings. And I feel like I'm king of the world here when I do this radio show. Dave's gone by. It's our 633rd episode. We're calling it Yule Tide, Tied, because we will have some holiday stuff to do a little later in the program. But we're going to go a little out of order this week. I'm going to save the holiday segue and do the in the news segue. We usually save this for like the last hour, but instead we're doing it early. And this is a segue of songs that, well, you have to decide why I'm playing them. So I picked them because something's going on in the news or the world at large, and you have to think, why is Dave playing that this week? What is it about the title of the song or who's doing it or the theme of the song that will connect to something big that happened in the world or is about to happen in news or current events or life in general? So we will begin with a song. Let's see. We're taking this off the Brit Box, which is this big compilation of like 1980s, 1990s British hits and songs and new wave and post-new wave and gothic stuff. I don't want to give away too much. Just listen for what the song is about and try and figure out why I'm playing it on this Saturday segue.
Here you go, way too fast. I'm so down, you're gonna crash. You should watch your stay. Don't look out, I'm gonna break your neck. So shut your mouth. 'Cause I'm not listening anyhow. I had enough about you. Not to last it like I do. So long to you, follow me. Got no words of sympathy. Yeah, I got around with you. You know that I get messed up too with you. way too fast. Don't slow down, you're gonna crash. You don't know what's been going down. You've been running all over town, so shut your mouth. 'Cause I'm not listening anyhow. I know about you. Not to last a lifetime, so why do you wanna be? God knows you're easily. I'm here, go around with you. You know that I've been messed up too with
Doing our Saturday segue of songs in the news on Dave's Gone By.
That's how she knew God made her eyes, crying at birth, then left the ground to circle the earth.
embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you.
Baby, just one look at you, my heart goes tipsy in me.
You and you alone bring out the gypsy in me.
Oh, I love all those many charms about you. Oh,
above all, I want my arms about you.
ooh, don't be a naughty baby.
Oh, why don't you come and get your baby too?
Call for the point.
My sweet embraceable you. Never treats me sweet and gentle the way he should. I got it bad and that ain't good.
I got it good and it ain't bad.
My poor heart is sentimental, not made of wood.
What you think mine's made out of, lasagna?
I got it bad, and that ain't good.
Ooh. And when the weekend's over, baby, and Monday rolls around,
My man and I, we gin some and pray some and sin some. Lord, up above me, please make him love me. Oh, the way he should.
I ain't gonna change,
I got it bad,
and that ain't
Dave's gone by. Saturday Segue.
like a fool, I went and stayed too long. I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, I'm still delivered from yours. Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, I'm still delivered from yours. Here I am, baby. Oh, Lord, you should get me high. Here I am, baby. You got the future in your hand. Hey, I've done a lot of foolish things that I really didn't mean. Yeah, didn't I? Oh, baby, seen a lot of things in this whole world. When I touch them, there's nothing, girl. Ooh, baby, here I am. I'm still delivered. I'm yours. I'm yours. Ooh, we think you set my soul on fire. That's why I know you're my only desire. Ooh, baby, here I am. I'm still delivered. I'm yours.
Well, that'll get your Saturday started there. Of course, Stevie Wonder with a classic signed, sealed, delivered on Dave's Gone By are in the news. Saturday Segue on this Saturday morning, December 23rd, 2017, our 633rd episode of the program. I wish my hair would, I don't mind standing up and dancing and jumping around to the music, but my hair shouldn't. But anywho, we are doing our Saturday Segue of songs in the news. So the idea is not just to enjoy great classic music like that, but to wonder, why did Dave play the songs that he played? Well, here's some answers. First of all, we started up top with a song by a group called The Primitives, going back to 1988 on that, and their album Lovely, and the tune called Crash. Seems already so long ago, but it was less than a week ago that 3 were killed and dozens were injured on Monday when an Amtrak train derailed near Olympia, Washington. 13 cars went over the overpass that the train was coming around and dove onto a 4-lane highway in rush hour traffic. It's kind of amazing that only 3 people were killed, if you see the imagery on this. And there immediately the talk is, well, why were they going 80 miles an hour around a 30-mile-an-hour turn? Was somebody on substances? Was nobody at the wheel? Why weren't they minding things? And of course, the first thing that we heard was that actually, and this is the irony of the whole thing, they were training somebody. And they were explaining something. The conductor was with this trainee in a different car, and I guess it was trying to teach him some other aspect of running an Amtrak rail car thing. And then they didn't pay attention to the thing that you kind of have to hit the brakes and go around the curve easily, or else you just tumble ass over tea kettle, which is kind of ironic. And then the double irony is that seemingly rightfully, President Trump gets on TV and he says, well, when this stuff happens, this is all the more reason that we need in the next year to tackle infrastructure. We need to throw money into fixing subways and trains and buses and roadways so these things don't happen, which makes a whole lot of sense, which is the right thing to say, except oddly enough, this whole stretch of track and the train itself was new. This was rebuilt. This was revised. So there's that question of, well, they already did throw money and try and fix that. So that wasn't the issue. And then what was the other issue that they were talking about in terms of this train derailment thing? Except that it's, well, hey, Amtrak has gone almost 3 years without a horrible, tragic accident. Last one was in Philadelphia, which was worse back in 2015. This one, only 3 people died. So Amtrak is certainly improving, I guess you could say. I don't know. It's unfortunate. And the question gets into, it's funny how we rely so much now on machines that we're willing to put our trust in machines more than humans, to the extent that when this accident happened, people, they were saying, well, where the hell was the conductor? And why did the conductor allow this to happen? And human error and all that. But implicit in that thinking was this idea that, oh, well, how come there wasn't an automatic slowdown in place? Why wasn't there something implemented where if the train knows that it's going to be coming around the curve, so automatically there's something that kicks in electronically where it will go from 75, 80 miles an hour slowly down to 30 miles an hour and then pick up speed again when it's time? How come that isn't automated? Why do we have to rely on crazy, stinky, useless old humans to do machines' jobs for us? What a sea change in thinking that is from maybe even 40, 50 years ago, where humans were supposed to just kind of be a stopgap and help us out. Now we're the ones who are supposed to be like, hey, if the machinery doesn't kick in, we have a person still around to make sure and put his or her foot on the brake. Anyway, so we played Crash by the Primitives on Dave's Gone By, and we followed that with the band Iron and Wine and from their 2007 record, The Shepherd's Dog, a song called Boy with a Coin. Boy with a Coin. Why would we play that? Well, Bitcoin has been in the news this week. It's been ramping up, and it's becoming worth more and more. It's like buy. The value of Bitcoin has been going through the roof, and then this past week, it stopped and lost about 30% of its value almost overnight. I guess you could call it a digital correction or something. So the value of it, if you want to buy Bitcoin, now's the time to do it, I guess. I don't know. This is a purely digital currency. And I have to say, one of my undergrad, well, all my students are undergrads, but one of my students in my basic freshman English comp class did his final essay about Bitcoin and how that's important and how it's going to change the monetary system and how we should all buy in to Bitcoin, because and he tries to explain, which is part of what the essay was about, tries to explain what Bitcoin is and how it functions and the algorithms. And I was like, I'm supposed to be grading him, and I don't know what the hell he's I don't understand this Bitcoin thing one bit, that there's some kind of incredibly abstruse algorithm, mathematical calculation out there that sets the rate that a Bitcoin is, but people can buy in or sell or do or not. I have no freaking clue. I just know people have been like pouring money into it fairly recently and buying in, and then for no reason really that anybody can see, it took a giant leap off it didn't lose all its value. It lost a third of its value in a day or two. So I'm staying away. I don't know. And I can laugh at Bitcoin, and I can say, these crazy people, they're putting their real money into stuff that isn't really money, that just exists in the ozone. But, the next stock market crash, which is inevitable, that happens, take a look at your 401ks and see how much money that we've got floating around in stocks and bonds and stuff that's really doing well right now and can tumble 30% in the course of a week or two, depending on what happens at some point. So I just don't get it. And I'm of the wrong generation to be understanding what the hell Bitcoin is about. But we did play Boy with a Coin from Iron and Wine from the 2007 Shepherd's Dog album. Here on The Dave's Gone By in the News Saturday Segue, we also played Embraceable You, a little medley there of Embraceable You and I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good, featuring Louis Prima and Keely Smith. Well, we played that, unfortunately, because we lost Keely Smith this past week. She died on December 16th at the age of 89 of heart failure. She was a Grammy-winning jazz and pop singer, probably best known, though, as being, for only a few years, part of the performing and real-life couple of Louis Prima and Keely Smith. They married in 1949, had all sorts of marital problems. He was a playboy to an extent, and there was even an off-Broadway show that they did about Keely and Louis, or Louis and Keely, not Keely and Do, which is an entirely different show. But it was pretty good. We saw it out of town and told their story and how they had their life, but they had an interesting marriage, let's say, that lasted up until 1961. Well, after that, she had a life beyond that. She was married 3 times. She did have, unfortunately, alcohol and substance abuse issues, but she made albums all the way through. In fact, into the early aughts and mid-aughts, Keely Smith made music, made records. She did an album entirely of Beatles songs. So it's not like they were completely just stuck in the Tin Pan Alley 1950s groove. So good for her on that as well. But a hearty and sad farewell to Keely Smith, who passed away a little less than a week ago at the age of 89. And then finally on the Dave's Gone By radio show of our Saturday segue of songs in the news, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm Yours, from Stevie Wonder, and also from our president, Donald Trump, and Mitch McConnell, and Paul Ryan, and all these people who have given us a Christmas gift of tax reform. Ooh, have they made taxes so much simpler as they promised? No, no, you can't fill, as they were saying, you can't fill out your taxes on a postcard. You still need to figure it out and itemize and know what category and rate you're in. Do they do much for any of us? Well, here on the radio show, we probably have a few rich theater producers listening and stuff, but for the rest of us who are making money in this world, the tax thing, we'll feel nothing. We will see nothing. I did one of these calculator things. Now, granted, that can be related to whatever website it's on. So if it's some kind of left-wing Democrat website, the calculator might not take everything into consideration. But it asks you to pop in whether you're married or single, whether you're supporting any kids, and what your basic income is. And according to this site, according to throwing in those calculations, based on my wife's income and mine, which is almost basically just my wife's income put together, right, we would be seeing, not this coming year, but when we do our taxes in 2019 for 2018, our taxes will be lowered by 0.9%. Okay? Less than 1%. Our taxes will go down for a few years. They'll go back up again in 2025 unless some other law is enacted and other things change or it's rescinded. And then at that point, they'll go up to basically where they are now. But all of this going on, all $1 trillion being added to our deficit, rich CEOs getting to keep so much more of what they've got. And yet here we are in a bracket that's significantly under $100,000 a year. And our big, wonderful tax break is actually going to be, let me put it this way, if you were to calculate exactly how much if you were to take our income, our annual income, and do 0.9% of that, okay, we would get a couple of $100, okay? But it's not even based on, it's based on what we're paying and what we're deducting and what's taxable income and stuff. So I would say if we're lucky, we might get $200 back on our, not this coming tax return, but a year from now, if nothing changes in our lives. And all of that to save us up. Whereas, if we were in a different income bracket, if we were making over $150,000 together, then we would see a 2% deduction. If we were making over $500,000, just saying, if we were making $500,000 a year, then we would see a 3% deduction. So, gee, surprise, surprise, the Republicans have a plan in place where the more money you make, the more taxes you save. If you make millions of dollars, you probably see 4 or 5% coming back at you. And of course, the corporate tax rate is going down from 35% to 21% to stimulate the economy and cause business owners to pour more money, supposedly, back into their companies and back into the pockets of their workers, as if. All I was asking, and I went on a rant on this last week, all I was saying is that if you want to do that, if you want to make it more attractive for businesses to do business in America, keep your businesses here instead of sending them to Indonesia or to China or Guatemala or Guadalajara, wherever it is. And you want to keep us here, keep it here, fine. And you want to give businesses a real tax break to do that, okay. But if you're taking that rate down from 35% to 21%, just put some mechanism in there, just the way our Amtrak trains need some kind of stoppage mechanism. Keep a mechanism in there that stops CEOs from just looting the till. Make sure that if suddenly their taxes are, well, what is it then, 14% lower than they were a year ago, they have to take 10 of that percent and plug it back into the company. Either things for safety, either beefing up the technology, the software, the uniforms, whatever the company needs to expand, to grow, to give the workers better benefits, to pay the workers a little more, give them raises a little faster, and incentives and bonuses, and hire more people at decent living wages, right? So, yeah, the CEO can keep a little bit more, makes it more pleasant for him or her to do business in America by keeping the business here and getting a much better tax rate, but force them to take all that new money that they didn't have all these years because of our draconian tax rates and force them to put most of it back into the company and its workers and its people. You do that, I would have been all for this tax hike. But as it stands, your average middle-class person, especially if you don't have kids that, people with kids, they'll get a little bit of a break. That's true, thanks to Marco Rubio. But if you're just people getting by in this economy and, you want a little bit of a break, and it's like, maybe in the end of next year, after 2018, I get my taxes back from 19, and we get, $200 or $300 extra back in my taxes. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying I would turn that down. But at that point, our healthcare rates will probably go up $800 for the year because people now don't have to sign up for Obamacare. And so where's the money going to come from to pay for healthcare? They'll jack up their rates. And we'll probably have to pay higher fees for libraries and other social services and senior centers and what have you, because they'll be getting less money from the government because now the government will be saying, well, oh gosh, our deficit just went up $1.5 trillion. We got to make that up from somewhere. Let's see what we can do from Social Security. Let's see what we can do from after-school band practice. Let's see what we can do from even getting musical instruments for a school. Let's see what we can do to take money from after adult programs, adult daycare and senior centers and so forth. So it's it's the Christmas gift that we'll keep on giving, or as we say, giving it to us the way our friend was it Tio Logo? What is his name? I've already forgotten the thing's name. It's called Tio de Nadal. Where we just keep pushing stuff up its ass and expect ourselves to be grateful. Well, anywho, that's our Saturday segue of Songs in the News, because we closed with Stevie Wonder doing Signed, Sealed, Delivered, as Donald Trump put his enormous, ridiculous signature on that legislation just a day ago before the holiday. And that is our Saturday segue of Songs in the News here on Dave's Gone By. Now, amazingly enough, weirdly enough, we will be saying some nice things about Donald Trump a little bit later in the program. I know. Half of my listeners are going to log out right now, but we will have some positive things to say about our president. Or I won't necessarily, but the great Rabbi Saul Solomon will be here in a little while to offer his rabbinical reflection for the week, his mini sermon, all about what's happening in Jerusalem with Donald Trump and the United Nations and Nikki Haley. Definitely worth staying tuned for that. Also worth staying tuned for our later Saturday segue of holiday songs, depressing and demented ones. Of course, this being Dave's Gone By. And what else do we have going on? We've got some Bob Dylan music to play too, and some jokes about the Amtrak crash. Keep it right here on uncradio.org. We also have a stream at Streema, STREEMA.com, where you would just look for UNC Student Radio and find us there. And of course, you're watching us on Facebook, and I welcome all our Facebook listeners and watchers and viewers every week from 9 till noon Mountain Time here from the University of Northern Colorado, where it's about 10:45 Mountain Time, and time to get cultural and go inside Broadway.
In
Inside Broadway, a look at theater on and off Broadway and beyond. Brought to you by Total Theater and Performing Arts Insider. Curtain going up. Curtain going up indeed in the neighborhood on our Inside Broadway segment where, I've been a theater critic for many, many years. I'm a playwright, I'm an actor, I'm a theater journalist. So I love talking about the theater, especially in New York, Broadway and off Broadway, and sharing with you all what's going on New York stages. Now, it's been a fairly quiet time on Broadway, and it's been an odd December because usually what happens, and I said this last week, is that we get a ton of theatrical Broadway activity happening from October through early November, before the holidays kick in. All these shows want to open and then get the Christmas and holiday and New Year's traffic with kids out of school and tourists coming in. So usually you get this flurry of openings in that time. But this year was different. This year, October was very quiet, and things didn't even ramp up until around Thanksgiving, when every week there'd be one or two shows opening. So we actually had a Broadway show opening this past week. I'm going to tell you about it right after I mention that a Broadway musical that looks like it's definitely set for, when is it going to be? It's going to be April of this season. So it is now kind of official that Summer, the Donna Summer musical, will be coming to the Lunt-Fontanne Theater. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is playing there for a couple more weeks. That will be closing. And then they're going to rework it into kind of a disco palace, I guess, for Summer, the Donna Summer musical. It's got direction by Des McAnuff, choreography by Sergio Trujillo, and it features 3 different women playing Donna Summer in different stages of her life. And it's about her life and her music and playing songs like Last Dance and Hot Stuff. The show tried out at La Jolla Playhouse back in the fall, and reviews were, but you're not going for, well, maybe you're seeing Jersey Boys, you're going for a really well-structured, good musical, but people are going for the tunes, and we'll see Summer in the spring on Broadway. And now, as promised, I mentioned a Broadway show opened this past week at the Belasco Theater, and it's a play. It's not a musical. It's not a big, loud, blasting thing or a holiday thing, although it does have music in it. There's a show called Farinelli and the King, a comedy drama by a woman named Claire Van Kampen, who is generally a musician, and she's taken, this is her first try at playwriting. And how does this first-time playwright get on Broadway? Well, she happens to be married to an actor named Mark Rylance, who is considered one of the great current living stage and to some extent now screen actors as well. Because he's won Tonys up the wazoo. If you saw him in Jerusalem, if you saw him be absolutely hysterical in that revival of Boeing, Boeing. And I know the greatest Henry V I ever saw off-Broadway, when nobody even knew his name at that point, before he was doing stuff in England and a big Broadway star and Spielberg movies, Rylance played Henry V in theater for a new audience production. And it was funny and rousing and a little disturbing. It was the most interesting Shakespeare just about that I've ever seen. So I'm a Rylance fan myself. Well, this was an opportunity for Mark Rylance to have another show on Broadway, and why not do his wife's play? And here's the plot of the piece. It's all about Spain's King Philippe. And I was talking about why would he have the name Philippe if he's Spanish? But anyway, Spain's King Philippe, who is starting to lose his mind a little bit, and he's all upset, and there's all this intrigue and stuff going on with wars in the court, and a lot of pain in the ass things he has to deal with that he doesn't want to. The only thing that calms him down and brings him to a higher level and a greater sphere of being is music, specifically the music of a high-pitched young sort of man who is a castrato, because they can hit notes that I guess nobody else can. And so when the king listens to this boy man sing, the king is just like in another dimension. And He just loves this music so much. He's a super fan, I guess you could say. Well, the problem is that this castrato is very famous and in demand all over the world. So he wants to go travel. He wants to have a life and see the world and be feted by other kings and queens and princesses and just the fans at large. So the king wants to keep him in the court singing for him, King Philippe does, but this castrato wants to go and do other things. So that's the plot of the play. How did the critics like it? Because it opened a few days ago on Broadway, one of the last, probably the last new Broadway show of 2017. Theater Mania's Zachary Stewart liked it with reservations. He said that Farinelli and the King, the writing, some of it is middling and a bit stale and historically inaccurate. Not that that should matter in theater, but the singing of the arias is amazing, and John Dove's production is a total delight to the senses with magnificent lighting by Paul Russell. Everything that Mark Rylance now does has this amazing naturalistic lighting of the period. Remember when he did that 12th Night, and I think he did the Hunchback one, Richard III, a couple of years ago, which I'm so sorry that I did not get to see either of those. But they were done authentically in period with musical instruments and the kind of lighting they would have had back then. And apparently it worked magnificently. But Zachary Stewart of Theater Mania is saying that the look of Farinelli is magnificent, and the singing by Ayeston Davis, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the singing is spectacular, and you understand why the king was so captivated by this voice and this music, that he would want this castrato around him all the time. Okay, Variety, Marilyn Stasio wrote about Farinelli and the King, and she had problems with the script also. She said it was really simplistic, and she also, unlike the Theater Mania critic, Marilyn Stasio of Variety had problems with the singer, with Ayeston Davis. She said it doesn't scale the atmosphere, the stratospheres, like a true castrato would. So the king might melt, but we don't. She also says that the script at times uses, quote, barbarically contemporary language, which does not jibe with the richly textured look of the production. So if you're going to have a production that's really authentically set, you shouldn't have these common modern day idioms that the characters are speaking. Now, Newsday loved the show, unequivocally. Barbara Schuler, the critic there, said the play is wonderfully intriguing, and like the other critics, she notes that the play makes a strong case for the healing power of music, and that Ayeston Davis beautifully sings the stunning arias. Also, our friend of the neighborhood, who tends to be more on the fence on things, Joe Demanowitz of the New York Daily News, he wrote, the drama at the Belasco Theater is a richly theatrical reminder of what art can do. And it also has an ace up its brocaded sleeve, Mark Rylance's sly unpredictability. He is riveting. Now, the play's pokey first half meanders, but it gains momentum after intermission, which is interesting because a lot of the other critics said that the first act is really interesting and the play loses its way in the second act when the king goes into the forest. So it's critics, this is what they do. The Hollywood Reporter, David Rooney, this is what I was saying. He said that the second act is particularly unsatisfying as the king moves to a forest retreat. Overall, the play risks being dramatically inert and puts too much of a burden on Mark Rylance as an actor. It says he's got the impressive arsenal, the hypnotic voice, the verbal and physical idiosyncrasies, the eccentric timing, stuttering hesitation, playfully mumbled asides, the subtle complicity with the audience. He puts those all into play, and yet he's doing it to kind of ratchet up a script that has problems. However, Jeremy Gerard, writing for Deadline.com, wrote, it's the best play and the best production of the season so far. And not just because of Rylance's performance, which is to be savored. The play is wildly entertaining in the moment and resonant in the aftermath. And so, a lot of positive reviews, a couple of raves for Farinelli and the King. It's in a limited run at the Belasco Theater on Broadway. If you're a Mark Rylance fan, obviously it's not to be missed, but certainly the critics had some issues with the script and a couple with the singing. Although, quite honestly, I wouldn't know a good castrato from a bad one, nor would I necessarily want to see one. Anywho, what I would like to see is a lot of you going to the website totaltheater.com. Totaltheater.com. This is an absolutely free website of theater reviews and also articles about the American and international theater. So if you go to the Criticopia section, you can read reviews of shows like Farinelli and the King and the recently opened play Junk, as well as long-running Broadway shows. Everything from Wicked to, let's see, what else has been up there a while? A Bronx Tale and shows like that. So you can go to the Criticopia section, just go scanning through all the reviews that they have. Also, regional theater, international theater, festivals as well here on this Festivus Saturday. So just visit totaltheater.com and you can check the periodica section for stories and interviews involving American and world theater too. Totaltheater.com. Now, if you want to pay a little money but find out a lot more about Broadway, off and off Broadway, you're going to want to get yourself a copy of Performing Arts Insider, the Bible of Broadway. I'm leaning here to try and get a copy, the brand new copy of Performing Arts Insider, which has been around since 1944. It has every single show on, off, and off Broadway listed comprehensively with everybody involved, including contact information for the press agents, the managers, the actors' agents, as well as stage managers, the actors, directors, designers, lyricists, composers, choreographers, directors. Sometimes they're direct emails or even phone numbers, or certainly phone numbers to their agents and managers. So if you want to get in touch with the people who are making the shows that we're talking about, shows like Farinelli and the King, this is the place to do it. Every issue has comprehensive listings, charts, a table of contents, the list of the press agents, a chronological list of when all the shows are starting, previews, opening, and closing. And then, of course, we get into the big lists right throughout the middle of the book, all the way up to that last page of the index. So why should you get Performing Arts Insider instead of going online and opening a dozen windows and looking for things? Because not everything, you won't be able to find everything that you'll find in the pages of Performing Arts Insider. And also, it's so convenient. It's a 52 or 56 page issue that comes out hard copy. You can keep it on your desk. Grab it when you need it. Take it on a trip. Take it on a plane or a train instead of having to look on your phone through all these tiny little window things. No. All the info is right there in these pages. And you can subscribe either 12 times a year or 21 times a year. You can even get a single issue if you're in Manhattan at the Drama Bookshop or Theater Circle. Grab a copy, see if you like it, and then subscribe. The folks who do renew year after year, even though they pay a lot of money, because this is the only place they can get all this info the way they want it, in the most useful way possible. For more information, please go to performingartsinsider.com. Performingartsinsider.com. Now, the magazine itself is not online. It's still just hard copy, but the information for subscribing and about the magazine is at performingartsinsider.com since 1944, the Bible of Broadway. Well, going to give you a little bit of more Broadway information, reminding you of two shows that you basically just have a little over a week more to catch on Broadway. First of all, there's a show that people were thinking would have closed a week ago. Remember we were talking about that review, Home Away from Home, where you have these reality TV singers from places like The Voice and So You Think You Can Sing or Dance or Juggle. They cobbled these folks together to sing a bunch of Christmas carols and holiday songs, along with Danny Aiello offering his Christmas memories with his family when he was a child. I haven't seen it, no real desire to see it, but if you do, for a family-friendly holiday kind of show with some good voices in it, It's Home Away from Home. It's at the August Wilson Theater. It's been selling terribly, but just well enough that the producers are going to keep it going until the end of the year and not close it up early. It's going to run until December 30th at the August Wilson Theater, hosted by the Bachelorette's Caitlin Bristow. No idea who that is. Well, she was a bachelorette, obviously. The songs include all the ones you want to hear, I guess. All I Want for Christmas Is You, Do You Hear What I Hear, The First Noel, Joy of the World, Little Drummer Boy, O Come All Ye Faithful, O Holy Night, Little Bell. Sorry, I'm Jewish. I just don't give a shit. But if you do, it's Home for the Holidays at the August Wilson Theater, running until just about the end of the year. Now, another show that I don't care for, I have to admit, is closing next Saturday at the Neil Simon Theater. It's Cats. Yes, they revived Cats, and it's been playing on Broadway for months. It's been around since last July of 2016, and it will close after running 16 previews and 593 regular performances. Not exactly now and forever, but it was a redone version of the musical that every tourist goes to. How many millions of children was this their first musical? It's based on T.S. Eliot's Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, with a score, of course, by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and a couple of songs that are really catchy, not just memory. Of course, it has memory in it. But anyway, it's Cats, and if you want to catch cats, or catch as cats can, you can do that for a couple more days. It's going to be running through December 30th at the Neil Simon Theater on Broadway. And when I mentioned that there are other songs in there besides Cats that might be worth listening to, well, here's one. This is The Rum Tum Tugger from the original 1982 Broadway cast. Well, the Broadway Cats cast. Say that 3 times fast.
If you offer me pheasant, I'd rather have grouse. If you put me in a house, I would much prefer a flat. If you put me in a flat, then I'd rather have a house. If you set me on a mouse, then I only want a rat. If you set me on a rat, then I'd rather chase a mouse. And there isn't any need for me to shout it. For we will do, I say do. And there's no doing anything about it. Oh, when you let me in, then I want to go out. I'm always on the wrong side of every door. As soon as I'm at home, then I like to get out. I like to lie in the bureau drawer, but I make such a fuss if I can't get out. And there isn't any need for you to doubt it. What he will do, I say do. And there's no doing anything about it. The is a curious beast. My disobliging ways are a matter of a habit. If you offer me fish, then I always want to feast. When there isn't any fish, then I want to eat a rat. If you offer me cream, then I sniff and sniff. For I only like what I find for myself. So you catch me in it right up to my ears if you put it away on a lot of shelf. Doesn't care for a cuddle, but a leaf on your lap in the middle of your sewing with a thing I enjoy like a horrible muddle.
And there isn't any need for me to spout it. For he will do as he did you. And there's no doing anything about about it.
Terrence Mann. Wow, he sounded so young back then, and we had such personality. Terrence Mann from the 1982 Broadway cast recording of the original Cats on Broadway. And I actually have a cat sound effect. Here we go. Ooh. Scary, right? I'll do that again for our Facebook people. Yikes. Anywho. Yeah, I know I have my claws out for cats. I've seen the show about 4 times in my life for various reasons. And I'm usually just bored out of my gourd. I'm sorry. I know. But there are catchy tunes. And that's one of them. The Rum Tum Tugger from Cats. Speaking of catchy tunes, it's time for us to go to our next segment, which has my favorite singer-songwriter composer of all time. We call it Bob Dylan, Sooner and Later.
Come gather round, people. It's time for Bob Dylan, Sooner and Later. Early tracks, recent songs, bootlegs, and more. It's Dylan on Dave's Gone By, where everybody must get by.
Yes, indeed. Everybody must get bobbed on the Dave's Gone By radio program. So, yeah, we play some Bob Dylan music every week here on Dave's Gone By. And we were doing it long before he was a Nobel Prize winner, because his music was important to me all the way up from, like, junior high school till right this second. There's nobody quite like Bob Dylan. And one of his quieter but best albums came out 50 years ago, almost today, in a couple of days. On December 27th, 1967, the 8th Dylan album, John Wesley Harding, came out. And it was a whole unexpected piece, because what happened with Dylan, of course, we all know. He became this rock and roll superstar. He was living life totally on the edge, and then he crashed his motorcycle at about the time when just mentally he probably needed to, because he would have exploded had he not. But instead, he probably hurt his arm really badly, and he was laid up in upstate New York for a long time, for weeks, putting his life back together, his marriage back together, his mind together, and yet, him being Dylan, he'd be hanging with other musicians up there around that Woodstocky kind of area, including members of the band, the folks in up at their house at Big Pink. And he'd be making all this music that would eventually come out on the Basement tapes. And so he was going into a more rustic, found music idea. But that wasn't going to come out to the world until 1975. Bootlegs would come out before then. But people weren't hearing that music. People didn't know if Dylan was still alive. People didn't know what Dylan was doing. And then 18 months, I think, after the accident, here in 1967, Dylan puts out this album, and it's very different from Blonde on Blonde or Highway 61 or Bringing It All Back Home. Suddenly, it's very minimal instrumentation, although it's still rock and roll, and it's biblical analogies and almost biblical type songs, except we're not talking about the born again stuff that he would do 10 years later. And at the same time, folky and a little bit popish and mellow and sometimes a little bit snarky too, but a very interesting album and different from anything that he had done before. And he didn't want he didn't want a whole big ramp up of advertising and promotion for the record. You can barely see on the front cover is this black and white thing with Native American type people on the cover. And he's even staying out of it. Very strange, but really a record that rewards you with repeated listenings, even if the instrumentation isn't full of filigree and a zillion different instruments going at once, and the beauty that you had with the thin, wild Mercury music of Blonde on Blonde. The main musicians on the record were Kenny Buttry, steel guitar player Pete Drake, and our friend of the neighborhood, Charlie McCoy, who's known as a harmonica player, but he was playing a bunch of different instruments on that record. So Dylan wanted the album to be very low profile because everything around him back then also was being overhyped to the skies. I mean, it was 1967. It was the year of Sgt. Pepper, and it was the year of the Stones' Satanic Majesty's Request. And it was the year that America was exploding with all these crazy things going on. So he just wanted a quiet little album to come out and make the statements that he wanted to make. Well, it's a fine, fine album. We're going to hear a couple of tracks or songs from it, but we're going to have them done by a couple of other people. Since we play a lot of songs from that album over the years here on Dave's Gone By and in the Dylan Sooner and Later segment, because they are, almost every song on it is a classic. So we're going to hear some different versions than the Dylan ones. For example, from her 1968 record, Any Day Now, here is Dylan's brief paramour and longtime friend and hanger-on, Joan Baez, with I Dreamed I Saw St. Augustine.
I dreamed I saw St. Augustine, alive as you or me, tearing through these quarters in the utmost misery, with a blanket underneath his arm and a coat of solid gold, searching for the very souls who already have been sold. Arise, arise, he cried so loud in a voice without restraint. Come out, ye gifted kings and queens, and hear my sad complaint. No martyr is among you now, whom you can call your own. So go on your way accordingly, but know you're not alone.
Playing some Dylan songs on Dave's Gone By.
Down home, I find my true love coming my way.
Down along the coast, I spot my true love coming my way. I said, Lord have mercy, Mama, it's sure good to see you coming today. Down along the coast, I find my little brother Joyce. Down along the coast, I find my little brother Joyce. She said, Lord have mercy, honey, I'm so glad you're my boy. Down along the coast, we walk together hand in hand. Down along the coast, we walk together hand in hand. Everybody watching us goodbye knows we in love, yes they understand.
Some Dylan on Dave's Gone By, and one more from the John Wesley Harding songs.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Yeah. Quite a joker to the thieves. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Ooh, businessmen, they drink my wine. Cloud man, kick my bird. No one of them along the line. Yeah, no one in your get his word. No reason to get excited. No, the easy kind is gold. There are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke. No, but you and I have been through that, and this is not a fake. So let us not talk falsely now. The hour is getting late. All along the watchtower, princes kept the view, while other women came and went with the barefoot servants. Outside in the distance, our cats did cry out. Two riders were approaching, and the wind began to
of a slow burn version of the Jimi Hendrix version of the classic Bob Dylan tune All Along the Watchtower, which we're playing on Days Gone By in honor of the 50th anniversary, coming up in just a couple of days, of the release of John Wesley Harding, Bob Dylan's 8th album on Columbia Records. That, of course, was not Bob Dylan doing the number, but Taj Mahal and the Hula Blues Band from the 2001 album Hana Pepe Dream, them doing kind of a jazzy and brass version of All Along the Watchtower. We also heard Dylan himself doing Down Along the Cove, one of the lesser-known songs that is on John Wesley Harding. And we opened up top with that beautiful, what's the word? Not ululation, but the vibrato, the great vibrato of Joan Baez from her Any Day Now record, doing I Dreamed I Saw St. Augustine. I mean, critics kind of get on Joan Baez because sometimes she doesn't put enough feeling. She lets her beautiful voice do all the work in the songs that she sings by Dylan and other people, but sometimes her voice is really nice and it sounds just right. And it's nice to hear her on Days Gone By. In our Bob Dylan sooner and later segments, we called it Harding, Not Tonya, on the Days Gone By radio program of the air, where it is December 23rd, 2017, here at the University of Northern Colorado in Greeley, Colorado, where I, Dave Lefkowitz, do the Days Gone By program every Saturday from 9 until noon or thereabouts on UNC Radio, which, of course, you can listen to by the special stream that we have that goes through iTunes, or if you don't have iTunes, you don't want to deal with it, you can also listen to us through Streema, Streema, streema.com, and look for UNC, University of Northern Colorado Student Radio. UNC Student Radio is probably the best way to find us. And for all the information about the show, don't forget my website, davesgoneby.com, and don't forget my email, davesgoneby@aol.com. So if you want to drop me a message and you haven't joined us on Facebook as a friend, because that's the best way is to message me there. But we still have our old email address, davesgoneby@aol.com, and I still check that at least once a day. So I would love to hear from you, your thoughts about the program, your comments, your suggestions, your shout-outs, etc. I want to remind you that next week we're doing something a little different, as we tend to do in the new year. So we will not be here next Saturday morning from 9 until noon. However, we will be here Sunday night at 9 until about a quarter after midnight, live here on Facebook and live on the radio. So if you're one of these losers like me who's not going to be going to some amazing place, some big old party, or gambling, or running around, or skiing, or sunning myself in San Moritz, but just basically like, oh, it's December 31st. Wow, New Year, old year ending. Whoop, now I have a candy. I'll be opening up my my beloved Tio. I can't ever remember the damn name of this thing. It's a Tio de, what is it? I'm looking it up, folks. It's the Tio de Nadal. Here he is. Here's our new friend. Oh, he's gotten even more French since we've had him. The Tio de Nadal, even though he's from the Catalonian region near Spain, we open him up and candies and other things come out of him. Ooh, big fun. That's what I'll be doing here live on the program in just a little over a week. So next Sunday night from 9 until a little after midnight Mountain Time. So if you're tuning in New York, turn off, whoever Justin Timberlake is doing the ball thing. No, who would that be? Who replaced Dick Clark? Another guy. And if you want to see Anderson Cooper and not the crazy comedian Kathy Griffin, I forget who is going to be with him doing the New Year this time on CNN. Whatever it is, turn the TV down, put on your Facebook, put your radios on, because Joyce and I will be here, maybe with some other guests too, counting down, playing music, having fun, goofing around here in the neighborhood live on New Year's Eve, December 31st. It should be a lot of fun. Well, what kind of fun stuff do we do on Days Gone By? As you've heard, we go inside Broadway, we play music, we do comedy bits, we talk about the theater. Well, let's let's do a segment that crops up every once in a while when something really tragic and horrible happens in the world at large. Some terrible thing that I look at and I go, oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's so awful. I'd better make some jokes about it. We call the segment My Sick Mind, and it goes like this.
My sick mind, sick mind, sick mind, sick mind, sick mind.
Well, talk about bad taste.
My sick mind, sick mind, sick mind, sick mind, sick mind.
You sick little monkey!
So yeah, that's what I do on this program sometimes. When tragedies strike, I strike back with, well, my feeble efforts at humor, and we call it My Sick Mind. So earlier this week, as we mentioned in our Saturday segue of songs in the news, the geniuses at Amtrak figured out another way to kill people. And hey, it's been 2.5 years. They were due. Almost their tragic accident sign was going to get up into 4 digits, and they had to change that. So yeah, Amtrak went around the bend the wrong way near Olympia, Washington, went way too fast, and plummeted over a bridge. 13 cars came down into rush hour traffic on the highway. Kind of amazing that only 3 people were killed. I guess a couple of dozen people were injured. And so what better time to poke fun and have a little humor at everybody's expense. So these are My Sick Mind jokes about the Amtrak disaster. For example, and by the way, don't get your hopes up about these, seriously. What is an Amtrak conductor's favorite song? Under the Bridge. Yeah. What is an Amtrak conductor's favorite movie? Speed. What is an Amtrak train's favorite TV show? 6 Feet Under. Okay, because it went under the bridge for like... Okay. Did the train conductor finish his conversation that he was having? No, he lost track. Yeah, that was kind of clever. Give me that one. Okay. You know, hey, does Amtrak send its conductors to college? Nah, they just take a crash course. Thank you so much. Why is an Amtrak train better than a Jewish girl? Well, at least the train goes down on you. There's only a couple more, ladies and gentlemen. What's the difference between an Amtrak engineer and the Metropolitan Opera's James Levine? Well, the Amtrak conductor couldn't keep his hands on, Levine couldn't keep his hands off. And finally, my friends, and not a moment too soon, as David Letterman would say, why is Amtrak like Harvey Weinstein? They're both undone by curves. And that, my friends, is My Sick Mind for December 23rd, 2017. Here on the Dave's Got My Radio program, our 633rd episode of the program. Happy to be doing this every week. And here at the end of the year, we didn't have any special guests today. I mean, my wife is special, and she joins us for the first part of most of our shows. But we didn't have, it's kind of quiet. It's tough to get guests towards the end of the year. We've certainly had a bunch of really special, fun, interesting, famous guests over the past year and the past 15 years here on Dave's Gone By. We're proud of all of them. We love having them on the show. We love having their interviews in our archives, where you can hear them at davesgoneby.com. And we also keep tabs on them. We also like to know, hey, back when they were on the show, they were in this Broadway production. They had written this book. They had put out this CD. And now they're doing something else. So we like to tell you what our friends of the neighborhood are up to in a segment we call Friends of the Neighborhood. So I want to let you know, speaking of CDs and speaking of music, our friend of the neighborhood, singer-comedian Jake Ehrenreich, has put together a treasury of Jewish Christmas songs. I kid you not, jazz versions of holiday carol classics kinds of things written by Jews and doing the long version, so it isn't just the best-known lyrics or stanzas that he's done in this. The songs are including things like Silver Bells and Let It Snow. It's Jake Ehrenreich, Ehrenreich, a treasury of Jewish Christmas songs. Look for it. It's the perfect stocking stuffer, except it really, it's a CD still, so the edges would probably tear a stocking and make rips in it all over the place. Probably better off getting the MP3s and putting it on a flash drive. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. It's a treasury of Jewish Christmas songs. I want to let you know that if you are in Florida listening to this radio program, the North Miami Beach Jewish Community Center, Avi Hoffman is there playing the poet Itzik Monger. That is happening for 2 more days, today and tomorrow, Reflections of a Lost Poet. It's in Yiddish with English subtitles. Go see our friend Avi Hoffman in Florida. And also now through tomorrow, speaking of Yiddish, they're doing Awake and Sing, the Clifford Odets play in Yiddish. David Mandelbaum, our recent friend of the neighborhood, directing that at the 14th Street Y in Manhattan. Want to let you know that Danny Burston is playing Isaac Babel in the new Rajiv Joseph play Describe the Night that is happening off Broadway at the Atlantic Theater, running through tomorrow. And also running through tomorrow, if you happen to be in Washington, D.C., and you get to Arena Stage, you will see the Pajama Game, featuring our friend of the neighborhood, Donna McKechnie. That's running through tomorrow. And then running through Monday, oddly enough, at Birdland in Manhattan, you've got Billy Stritch, our Claire Blackhurst, and our friend Jim Caruso doing a swingin' Birdland Christmas, now in its 8th year. See, Jim Caruso does his cast party Monday nights at Birdland, but he's also doing this cabaret show about Christmas songs. Swingin' Birdland Christmas over the next couple of nights in Manhattan at Birdland. On Thursday, our friend of the neighborhood, Gabrielle Louise, a singer-songwriter, she will be in Denver at the Mercury Cafe. She's actually, I think, a Colorado-based singer-songwriter herself. So she'll be close to home doing a Denver show this Thursday, December 28th. Now through the end of the year, a radio play version of It's a Wonderful Life being done at the Irish Repertory Theater off Broadway. That has a set design by our friend Jim Morgan. So go see that. And also, New York Theater. Jim Morgan, he's the artistic director of that off-Broadway company, and they're doing this big hit called Desperate Measures, a musical comedy with a score by our friend David Friedman. He was on our show in 2013. That's Desperate Measures. You have another week or so to go see that at the York Theater up at the church on St. Peter's. Where else? Oh, yeah. From December 27th through January 21st, Avi Hoffman, he's sticking around Florida. He's got a home there, too. He's doing his classic show, Too Jewish, at the PGA Art Center in Palm Beach Gardens. So as soon as he finishes doing the other piece about Itzik Monger, he's doing his regular show, Too Jewish, and you'll have about 3 weeks to catch that, almost a month, at the PGA Art Center in Palm Beach Gardens. Playing now, you're going to want to see on TV the sitcom 9JKL. which features Elliot Gould and our friend of the neighborhood, Linda Lavin. It just recently had 3 more episodes ordered, so there's definitely some interest in this show, 9JKL, on CBS TV. And now, of course, we have to talk again about Broadway, since we go inside Broadway on the show, and I'm a theater critic. And I remind you that so many Broadway shows have our friends' handprints all over them. For example, Aladdin has music by Alan Menken. The Band's Visit has a score by David Yazbek. Beautiful, the Carole King musical has a book by Douglas McGrath, and A Bronx Tale is written by 3 of our friends, Alan Menken, Glenn Slater, and Chaz Palminteri. Come From Away, the absolutely wonderful musical on Broadway at the Gerald Schoenfeld Theater, co-written by Irene Sankoff and David Hine, who were both on our Tony show this past year. Hamilton features Daniel Breaker playing Aaron Burr. That's at the Richard Rodgers Theater. School of Rock features lyrics by Glenn Slater. And by the way, Wicked features Rondi Reed playing Madame Marable. That's over at the Gershwin Theater. I want to remind you that you have just 2 more weeks to see Spamilton off-Broadway at the 47th Street Theater. That is by our friend Gerard Alessandrini. And by the way, the West Coast version of Spamilton, that's running, I think, either to the end of the year or also January 7th. You're going to want to check that out. I want to remind you that Evan Seplow, our friend of the neighborhood, founded and runs and edits StageBuddy.com. Dr. Demento still does new Dr. Demento shows and has the old ones at drdemento.com. And a big holiday shout out to our friend Bob Cudmore, who does podcasts about upstate New York history at bobcudmore.com. And those, my friends, are the friends of the neighborhood. Here on the Dave's Gone By radio program of the air, where it is 20 to 12 Mountain Time here at the University of Northern Colorado in Greeley, Colorado. Dave Lefkowitz here. We do this show every week, and we will do one next week. As I said, it's just going to be our special New Year's Eve overnight. Well, it won't be overnight. It'll be like 15 minutes overnight. We're going to start it next Sunday at 9 p.m. Mountain, 11 o'clock in the evening Eastern. So be with us for that. But are we through with this episode? Our 633rd episode of the show called Yule Tide? No, certainly we are not, because we have more music to play. We've got some zany, weird, depressing Christmas songs for you. And just in time for Christmas, we got Rabbi Saul Solomon. Yes, the great Rabbi is with us because he could not stay away. There's been so much going on that he wants to talk about in the world. So he does these things called Rabbinical Reflections. These are his thoughts on what's been going on in the news and culture. So he hasn't done one of these in a few months. He's been so busy. But he's back because he wanted to talk about what happened in the world this week, where Donald Trump said, as was explained, well, this was last week that he said it, that Jerusalem is the official capital of the state of Israel, or the nation of Israel. And not only that, in time, the United States will move its embassy to Jerusalem as Israel's capital. And for some reason, this brought up a hue and cry from all these different nations, all these different left-wing pundits, and all these people who say, oh my God, how can you do that? It'll make the Arabs angry. It'll hurt the peace process. It'll it's not right, and Jerusalem is disputed. And Well, I have my feelings about this, but I could never put them the way Rabbi Saul Solomon does. And so, with his brand new rabbinical reflection for this Saturday, December 23rd, here on Dave's Gone By, we get it a day early because it's a reflection for the week ahead. But here, the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Saul Solomon.
Hello, it's me, Rabbi Saul, with rabbinical reflections for you all. I come from Temple Sons of Bitches here in Great Neck, New York. shut up and pay attention to me. Shalom, damn it! This is Rabbi Sal Solomon with a Rabbinical reflection for the week of December 24th, 2017. When you think of Israel, what's the first place that comes to mind? Haifa, Jaffa, Ramat Gan? No, Shlemiel, we think of Jerusalem, the holy city, home of the ancient temple and the Wailing Wall, the place Jews have lived and worshipped for centuries, the site of both the Israeli parliament and the Holocaust Museum, not to mention the markets, the old city, the zoo, and my retired gastroenterologist. All are part of the Jewish fabric of this Jewish city in the Jewish state of Israel. Did I say Jewish? Goddamn right I did. Israel, the itty-bitty country that has been the unofficial Jewish homeland for 5,000 years, and the official one since 1948, has a capital, and that capital is Jerusalem. Bill Clinton said it, W. Bush said it, Obama said it, Donald Trump said it, but, unlike the others, acted upon it. And, of course, the left wing goes into an orgy of self-righteous, ignorant misery. Many among them are self-hating Jews who won't be happy until the Arabs push us into the Dead Sea. Or, as I'm sure the Muslims would prefer, push us into the sea dead. But here's an example. If the governor of New York State wants to move the capital from Albany to Rochester, is it a big deal? No, it's still New York. If Colorado wants to move its capital from Denver to Fort Collins, big whoop. The same goes for Israel. If the United States wants to move its embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, why not? Jerusalem is not occupied, it's not rented, it's not on a 100-year lease. It's a city in the Jewish homeland, just like Paris is for France, like Rome is for Italy, like the Candy Kingdom was for the land of Oo. We can all despise Kim Jong-un and wish him dead and disarmed, but even then, we don't tell him the capital of North Korea shouldn't be in Pyongyang. Hostile Arab nations and ignorant assuagers of terrorists have no business telling Eretz Yisrael what to do with its own land. I can get along great with my next-door neighbor, but she better not tell me how to paint my living room. And she certainly can't move into my bedroom unless her tits are spectacular. And with all due respect to Mahmoud Abbas, his tits are unimpressive at best. I have said time and time again on these rabbinical reflections that Israel is a teeny-weeny country, the only land in the world that is specifically earmarked for the tormented Jewish nation. We are surrounded by enemies, and in world history, any place we've gone that has been nice to us can turn on a dime. Look at Germany, Spain, Russia, CNN. Even the United States, the greatest country in the world, and the best second home Jews have ever had, offers no guarantee. With Donald Trump and his half-Jewish family, we've got a friendly administration that puts its matzah where its mouth is and will protect us against the Arafats and Bin Ladens and al-Assads. But a president lasts 4, maybe 8 years, and who knows what comes after. Had Jimmy Carter been reelected, he would have cut Israel in half and let the PLO bomb us into Olam Haba. We all know how well that peanut-picking putz dealt with Muslim extremists. I have also explained in my sermons and on my own TV program and in my highly acclaimed, easily tourable stage show that the Arabs own millions of miles of land spread out over 22 countries, not to mention countries in Africa and Asia whose populations are mostly Islamic. So, when Palestinians say they have nowhere to go but Gaza or the West Bank or Jerusalem, they're full of hummus. They could go anywhere if their Arab brothers and sisters would only let them. But no, Palestinians demand the only place they can't have. And the Arabs send terrorists and lethal commercial airplanes into our country because we refuse to fall onto their carpets and bow before their Sharia law. And for those of you who say that Jerusalem should be an international city, a place for everyone because so many religions have sacred spaces there, I say, sure, Jerusalem already is an international city. When has Israel prevented a Christian from stopping by to retrace Jesus' mythical childhood and death march? And every year, millions of Muslims peacefully worship at the Dome of the Rock or the Al-Aqsa Mosque or the amazing falafel stand just outside Beit Hanina. And if Israeli police check the Mohammedans' bags for explosives, wouldn't you? Turn over Jerusalem, or half of Jerusalem, to the Palestinians. And within one generation, mark my word, or my many words, the place will be off limits to outsiders, not to mention dangerous and probably mixed up in some Arab civil war. So shut up, liberal Lokshan heads, and up yours, United Nations. If calling Jerusalem Israel's capital hurts the so-called peace process, well, the Arabs had 70 years to make nice. Instead, they made trouble all over the world and with no end in sight. 128 countries in the UN General Assembly think America has crossed a line simply by acting on the true, the fair, and the obvious. Fine, let them live without American money for a while. Next time there's famine in Bangladesh, or flooding in Indonesia, or a shortage of ladyboy hookers in Thailand, see how much aid they get from Lebanon and Sudan. Maybe they'll airlift you a scorpion and 100 Korans. In the meantime, thank you, Donald Trump, for doing what's right and what has been right from the very beginning. And don't let Roger Waters, Danny Glover, the aptly named Lupe Fiasco, Emma Thompson, Samantha Bee, and other celebrity know-nothings sway you with their blather. If these Hollywood types were so concerned about partitions, why didn't they put one in front of Harvey Weinstein's dick? Oh, I know. Harvey Weinstein's Jewish, and I am not proud of that. But I am proud of our president. And considering that so many other things he and the Republicans have done are stupid, scary, and crazy, I'd call this oasis of sanity, you should pardon the expression, a Christmas miracle. This has been a rabbinical reflection from Rabbi Sal Solomon, Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York, and maybe someday in Yerushalayim Shel Zahav.
Well, the views expressed by Rabbi Sal Solomon do not necessarily reflect the views of this radio station or this radio host. However, in this case, they quite certainly do. And at least I can't speak for the radio station, but for sure, it's very great to have Rabbi Sal Solomon with us in the neighborhood. Remember that you can find out more about him by going to his website, shalomdammit.com. Shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T, shalomdammit.com. That's the place to read and get the YouTube links for all of his rabbinical reflections. He's got about 150 of them. Plus, you can hear all his interviews that he's done for this radio program. You can watch episodes of his hilarious TV show that he did about 10 years ago on Long Island cable television. And you can even see that stage show that he alluded to in this reflection, the show that he did at the Richmond Shepherd Theater a few years ago. And then he did shorter versions and different versions, but this is the full long version. It's all caught on great video, and you can see it at shalomdammit.com. So thank you, Rabbi Sal. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the program. Are we done yet? It's about 7 minutes to noon in the neighborhood. Are we through with this episode? No, we're not, because as promised, we do have one more segment of Dave's Gone By to do for you on this December 23rd. I like to play the music, and it's a holiday. It's a holiday I don't celebrate. It's a holiday that has caused me some consternation over the years, being a Jew, being from New York, and then going everywhere and hearing Christmas music on every TV station, in every store, in the friggin' post office the other day. It's a little bit, no, it's not just a little bit much, it's much. As much as Rabbi Saul was saying nice things about Donald Trump a couple of moments ago, just yesterday, here he was saying with these big signs, Merry Christmas, as opposed to Happy Holidays, because, hey, Christmas and a certain percentage of our country are Christian people and not Muslims or atheists or people of other faiths. But you know what, Donald, we count too. And when every single thing around us reminds us of the birth of Jesus, and we don't give a rat's ass about that, it gets kind of annoying. And imagine how annoying it was back in the day growing up when you only had 5 TV stations and the radio stations and stuff, and you went to stores and they were all decorated and they all had trees and creches and signs, and if you were lucky, you went into the bank and they had a little menorah on the table as a sop to those of us who were of another faith. Well, it's gotten even worse over the years now, especially if you watch a lot of TV, because they start Christmas right before Halloween in America now. I mean, they just do. The stores, all the shelves are up and the decorations go up and people start playing the holiday music and the bloody TV commercials, and the TV stations, the Hallmarks and Lifetime networks who pass by, and they're playing Christmas music in or Christmas movies in early November. And I just want to scream or throw up. I don't begrudge the holiday to people who believe in it, but to have it forced on me year after year after year gets a little bit wearing. And so my contribution to the Christmas holiday on Dave's Gone By is to play some Christmas songs, but they're not chestnuts roasting an open fire. They are not Jingle Freaking Bells. They are not Away in a Manger or even the very catchy Little Drummer Boy. No, we're playing some depressing and dispiriting and downright darkly demented Christmas songs, because that's the way I roll. Let's begin with a pretty tune from a band called Over the Rhine. All I Ever Get for Christmas is Blue.
Strings of lights above the bay, curtains drawn in a glass of rain. All I ever get for Christmas is blue. Saxophone on the radio, recorded 40 years ago. All I ever get for Christmas is blue. When you play my song, play it slowly, play it like I'm sad and lonely. Maybe you can solve that mystery. Wrap me in your arms and whisper, you miss me. Weatherman says it's miserable, but the snow is so beautiful. All I ever get for Christmas is blue. Hey Google, play that hit. It would take a miracle to get me out to a shopping mall. All I really want for Christmas is you. Let them ring the bells, say the wild wishes. I'll be drinking down your kiss. Deep into the night, we'll go stealing underneath the starry ceiling, revealing. White lights on the Christmas tree. Thank God you are here with me. All I ever get for Christmas is blue. All I ever get for Christmas is blue. All I ever get for Christmas is
Doing some holiday songs on Dave's Gone By.
We killed Santa Claus, we killed Santa Claus, we killed Jesus too. Nailed him to a cross, no big freaking loss, just another cranky Jew. All our life was trouble and strife, from the Holocaust to pogroms. So keep JC away from me, he's worse than terrorist bombs. We killed babies, we killed children, used their blood for cake. We own Hollywood, we own Wall Street, take. This is what you said about us for the past 2,000 years. Pound Voltaire and Charles Baudelaire and any boy who's had 4 beers. We killed Santa Claus, and we do it again. Goodbye carols, goodbye creches, no goodwill toward men. You've hated us since the birth of Christ, so we hate you in return. So stick your mask straight up your ass and burn, Joan of Arc, bitch, burn. So here it is, just weeks away from Christmas. You've shopped for your family, your friends, your special friends, and even bought a trinket for yourself. But oh my gracious, haven't you forgotten someone? Someone close to you, loyal, playful, full of love every day of the year. What oh what will you offer your canine companion? You can give your dog a toy that would make him leap with joy, or sneak your mutt a mutton cut of prime. But when Christmas time has come, something special must be done. Something tasteful, not expensive, but sublime. You can spend a pretty dollar on a doghouse or a collar. You can pamper her or groom him till he glows. But the thing I like to do, and I know that you will too, is to shower the gift of love that overflows. I'm gonna give my dog an animal for Christmas, while dressed up in a Santa Claus disguise. Each Yuletide without fail, I lift my doggy's tail and give his little poop shoot a surprise. I'm gonna fill his little anus up with bubbles and rinse his small intestines out with cream. I'll sing a little ode As Bowser's bowels explode, it makes the Yuletide pass just like a dream. I'm gonna pump my pooch with barium for Christmas and spike it with a pint or two of gin. I'll grease him up with lube and then insert the tube and stroke his furry muzzle as the tide rolls in. I'm gonna squeeze the water deep into his inner. No longer will he constipated be. I'll pump him till he's sore, and then I'll squirt some more, and maybe save a drop or two for me. Now some express dismay at this holiday display. They say, Dave, perhaps the doggy is in pain. I say, yes, he starts in grief, but my goodness, the relief when his doggy doos go doodling down the drain. And so I give my dog an enema each Christmas and squeeze the bag of meat with all my might. As gobs of Christmas jar come flying out as rare, I say merry diarrhea and to all a good shite. And if you're wondering what gift to get your spaniel, or how to make a wolfhound howl with glee, buy a nozzle and a bone, and KY for his hole, and douche your pooch beneath the Christmas tree. I guarantee you'll have a merry, messy Yuletide spree. Yes, sirree, an excremental Christmas memory. Careful, children, that is not eggnog.
Dave's gone by.
It was Christmas in prison, and the food was real good. We had turkey and pistols carved out of wood. And I dream of her always, even when I don't dream. Her name's on my tongue, and her blood's in my strength. Wait a while, eternity. Oh, my nature's got nothing on me. Come to me, run to me, come to me now. We're rolling, my sweetheart, we're flowing. By God. She reminds me of a chess game with someone I admire, or a picnic in the rain after a prayer cloud. Her heart is as big as this whole goddamn jail, and she's sweeter than saccharin at a drugstore sale. Wait a while, eternity. Oh, my nature's got nothing on me. Come to me, run to me, come to me now. We're rolling, my sweetheart, we're flowing. By God. The searchlight in the big yard swings round with the gun, and spotlights snowflakes like the dust in the sun. It's Christmas in prison, there'll be music tonight. I'll probably get homesick, I'll love you, good night. Wait a while, eternity. Oh, my nature's got nothing on me. Come to me, run to me, come to me now. We're rolling, my sweetheart, we're flowing back up.
Playing holiday songs on Dave's Gone By.
I'll be killing you this Christmas. 'Tis the season you must die. No, there's no way that you'll miss this. A Bushmaster's on my wish list. My right to bear arms you cannot deny. I'll be shooting folks this Christmas. But there's no need to be worried or alarmed. What's wrong with a handgun when everybody has one? Which is why we all need to be armed. That's right, I'm armed and dangerous as Christmas. It's an oxymoron, I know how it sounds, but you won't pry my fingers from it. My precious Second Amendment guarantees a clip that holds 100 rounds. Santa's packing heat this Christmas. In your school, your church, and your department store, the evidence is hazy. Background checks can't kill a crazy. We need firepower that can handle. And so I'll be wasting you this Christmas. And the NRA, they lobby, so it's so. I love our great nation. The real world is my PlayStation. I'll blow you away beneath the mistletoe. I'll be killing you this Christmas.
We killed Santa Claus.
Oh, holy night, stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error hiding, till he appeared, and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the way we were rejoicing, for yonder breaks
a new and glorious morn. On your knees, oh, hear the angels' voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night divine. When Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night divine. You know it was divine. Una diva.
I've never heard that before. If there's a God, I'll never hear it again. I was looking for something else to play, some other song to round out our Saturday segue of songs about Christmas, because Christmas is on Monday for our non-Jewish listeners. So I wanted to play songs that were different, not your typical Christmas, O Tannenbaum sort of song, and not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and not Nat King Cole Christmas, and none of that. So I played some depressing and weird and darkly funny songs, I think, about Christmas. And we started up top with Over the Rhine, with a very pretty number called All I Ever Get for Christmas is Blue, from the 2006 recording Snow Angels, followed by, well, yours truly, with a couple of numbers, including We Killed Santa Claus, and also My Doggie's Christmas Gift, sending that one out to my darling wife, who was wondering what that, so she saw the title of the song on my list of stuff I was going to play today. And she didn't know, well, what is the Dog's Christmas Gift? What is the song about? And, well, now you know. It was written back in the early aughts and not played on this show since 2005. So it's a return of My Doggie's Christmas Gift. We also heard some more serious, sad songs. Actually, great piece of songwriting there from John Prine, Christmas in Prison, from the 1973 album Sweet Revenge. And then a very darkly satirical number from Loudon Wainwright III, I'll Be Killing You This Christmas, from his 2014 recording Haven't Got the Blues Yet. And he noted that that song was written very specifically after the shootings in Newtown, that elementary school where Adam Lanza walked in and killed like 20 kids. And of course the NRA was saying, well, it's not the guns' fault. And all the politicians are saying, well, this is not the time to talk about gun control, because there's never a time for Republicans to talk about gun control. But so all of that was lead up to this thing I just played from someone named Steve Molden. Steve Molden I imagine, from hearing it, this is not like found outsider music where the person doesn't know just how insanely weird and bad he is. I get the feeling from the way this was put together that he knew very well he was being off key and off pitch and off planet Earth when he was doing this. And yet, the weird part is when it's self-conscious, when you know the person's trying to be funny, and you know they're trying to not hit the notes or over-accentuate or overdo everything, that tends not to be funny. It takes the joke away from it happening for real, for it to be organic. It's kind of like back in the early days of Late Night with David Letterman, when they put a microphone in Larry Bud Milliman's hand and sent him out to a bus station to greet people coming into the Port Authority. And he starts interviewing them, not realizing, he doesn't have headphones on, that as you're taking the mic away from your mouth to move it to the other person near you, that mic isn't really picking up your voice anymore. So halfway through everything he was saying, he'd move the mic and then he'd go off mic, and vice versa. As that person was answering him, the mic would start traveling back to his mouth for the next question. It was so naive that it was beautiful. It was hysterical. It was natural. And he became famous. It made the Larry Bud Milliman character, because he'd only been sort of a little cult thing with the Letterman show, even going back to the afternoon or the morning show that Letterman did. But that moment changed the game for Calvert DeForest, the guy playing Larry Bud Milliman. And I just hope and pray, and I'm sure at some point within that week, somebody told him, oh, you know why that happened? It's because you moved it. And then he would never do it again, or he'd fake like he was, and it could never be the same as it was when it was completely organic. And the same thing goes for that kind of comic song. If you get someone who's off key but thinks that they're great, that's wonderful. Or you get someone who knows that they are off key but they're doing their very best, that's wonderful too. That's where you get the people like the Wild Man Fishers and the Shuby Taylors and outsider artists like that. But here's this guy, Steve Moldin, or maybe he pronounces it like Moldine, that cartoonist from the war, doing Oh Holy Night. I found this on YouTube just a few minutes ago. It's got 1.6 million views. I understand completely why. And I do get the feeling from the way this is put together that it's real, that he knew he was going off the charts and being completely ridiculous, that he was just sending this into the stratosphere of badness. But it's still a treasure. This is still one of the greatest things I've ever heard. God bless. Happy Merry Christmas to you, Steve Moldine. I'm going to find out more about you. I hope you have a channel of some sort on YouTube and that you're still alive and well and wow. You can find that, by the way, on YouTube. It was published back in 2007 on the Novelty Songs YouTube channel. Oh Holy Night, and it says they're the worst rendition ever, funniest song on earth. I don't know if I go that far, but right now it is so up there. And I am feeling up there. What a great way to end the show, right? What a fantastic way to end this 633rd episode of the Dave's Gone By radio show here in the Daverhood. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. I want to thank so many of you for listening, for writing in, for tuning in, all of my my Facebook people. Remember that we will be here Sunday, December 31st, with a special New Year's Eve edition of the Dave's Gone By radio show. So we will be on 9 o'clock at night, Mountain Time, which is 10 Central, 11 Eastern. So it'll be, we'll have an hour here before New Year's pops in New York on the East Coast. And we'll take it all the way through our New Year, through midnight and a few minutes beyond, celebrating the holiday, playing goofy Christmas music like that, doing some other stuff, doing some comedy stuff, bantering. I don't know what I do every year for 3 hours on the holiday show, because it isn't a regular Dave's Gone By program. Hopefully we'll have guests. We expect we'll have call-ins, which will be wonderful. I'll give you the number now. As a matter of fact, those of you who are watching and listening, take this number down, 970-351-1256. Let me make sure that's true. 970-351-1256. 351-1256 is the number at this radio station, UNC Radio. So hold that there, and if we're up here and just goofing and bantering, we're about to play music, and you want to call in and be on the air with us and celebrate New Year's Eve, and talk about how your year was or what your hopes are for the year ahead, or just tell some jokes, or just talk with us, that would be a great thing. 970-351-1256. We would love to hear from you this coming Sunday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, 9 until a little past midnight Mountain Time, for the next episode of Dave's Gone By. Speaking of which, taking us from now until then, want to let you know about the weather out there, and it's winter. It happened. We had such a gorgeous, amazing, warm autumn all the way through that finally, hell, we were due. And you know what? As Rabbi Solomon said, the Goyim got their white Christmas, because the stuff that's out there on the ground will stay there because it's so cold, and we'll probably see remnants of it all the way through April. So it took a while, but you got your white lawns, and we might actually get some more of it later today. It's 32 degrees for a high today. It's in the upper 20s right now, and we might get more sprinkles or snow showers, or up to an inch or two later on in the afternoon towards the evening. And then things clear up, but it still stays cold, so it doesn't melt. It doesn't go anywhere. Like tomorrow, the high is going to be only 28 degrees, mix of sun and clouds. Monday, basically the same as tomorrow, with an even colder overnight. Tuesday, 24 degrees for a high, and a low going down to 2 degrees Fahrenheit. And then Wednesday, warming up a bit. We finally get back to freezing for a high, 33 degrees. Thursday, 36. Friday, more cold, back down to 26 degrees. And then a week from today, Saturday, even colder than today, but sunny. So it'll be a high in the mid-20s. Basically, it's wintertime, but aside from flakes that we might get today, at least it'll be clear rather than rainy/snowy, we hope. Anyway, enjoy the winter weather and go out and enjoy the holiday. Remember, we're in intercession now. We don't all come back until the second week of January. We've all finished grading. The kids are off doing their thing. Enjoy this holiday week. Make the most of it. And there is some sunshine out there. It's cloudy, but as long as you walk carefully, it's actually kind of crisp and nice and seasonal. And we've done a crisp and nice and seasonal show for you here in the neighborhood. I want to thank Rabbi Sal Solomon for being with us with his rabbinical reflection. Remember to check his website, shalomdammit.com, for links to all of his reflections and his other stuff. I want to thank my darling and adorable and wonderful wife, Joyce, for being with us for the first part of this radio program and sharing Greeley crimes and old times with us. I want to thank all of you for listening and watching on Facebook. Thanks to the folks who have been keeping UNC Radio going over the past couple of months and even throughout the intercession time, because we could just as easily fold up shop, close the door, and not be back here until mid-January, because there aren't students here doing shows. But I'm here, and there's music to play when I'm not here. And I've actually been kind of taking the reins on some of the music that's in the background when we're not live. So don't necessarily turn off UNC Radio as soon as I go away. You might hear some really, really cool music that's semi-programmed by me. So check it out. Anyway, have a most happy Christmas to all our Christian listeners. Most happy Kwanzaa coming up this week as well. Happy post-Hanukkah to all the Jews. Happy Festivus to the rest of us. That today physically is Festivus. So don't do the Christmas story thing with Ralphie and the light pole. Don't do that. But do other stuff. Make it a fun week. This is Dave Lefkowitz for Dave's Gone By, wishing you, I want to play Oh Holy Night again so much, but I'm not. I'm going to play something else, because it's holiday time. Enjoy it. Let's enjoy it with some Brian Wilson from his album Smile. That was the album that he did literally 30 years after he fell apart trying to put together the Beach Boys' Smile. And then he cobbled together remnants of that project with new music into a cohesive song cycle whole, along with Van Dyke Parks. and put it out in 2004. It got great reviews. He literally just called it Smile. Here's the song called On a Holiday and Gone By.
Upon the river June on a holiday, oh lazy Mr. Move on and get away. And it's a dead and blue for a country way. A ukulele lady, you got the lady. Rock, rock, roll. Child, rock, rock, roll. Drive the road for a holiday.
A bath and forth, a starboard course for towards the beam. Cheery of course, and then we'll share some sports, and now me heart sing. Not for rum of Kirk scum, it's port tonight. Drink up and come, and weigh the anchor yank, and we will part too.
A shanty town, a shanty, mighty dear, and juxtapose a man with a mystery. A blue Hawaii capture his melody, and then you'll walk the line, he will sing to me. Rock, rock, roll. Yeah, rock, rock, roll. And if I go for a holiday, long, long ago.
Well, happy holidays, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this Facebook broadcast. Remember, the Facebook will probably save this video if you want to show it to other people or watch it again. Or you can hear all our archives at davesgoneby.com. We'll put this show on over the next few hours. So most happy Festivus and everything else to all of you. And I'll see you next Sunday night, 9 o'clock at night, for our New Year's show. Have a great week.